So I would say in this way, President Obama essentially believed that America's role was to lead the international community from behind and allow the arc of history to bend towards justice. I would say that President Trump believes that we should be leading from the front our allies. We should be worrying about the military threats we face from rogue regimes as well as revisionist powers, and that if the arc of history is going to bend, we're going to have to bend it.
You know, I think that the striking thing there is the revisionist powers reference in my estimation. He mentioned two countries by name, China and Russia. He said they are attempting to change the global order. They are attempting acts that are contrary to American interests, and we need to counter them as competing powers. Now, that's very different than President Obama. Do you agree with, I mean, is he right in identifying those two countries? Are they the main threats?
They are the main threats. They may not be the most imminent threats, but they're the main threats. China is clearly a long-term threat and has very important plans for it to be the hegemon of Asia and then to go beyond that, the things they're doing in other parts of the world. Russia is much weaker than China, but Russia is not, as President Obama thought, a country with which we can get along if we just reset relations, and because we have loads of common interests. Keep in mind that both Russia and China, and I would say Iran as well, these were all in history great empires.
Right.
They all are angry that they are not great empires again, and they all intend to be great empires again. And they have various means and strategies to get to that. We have to recognize that and not think that we can just sing Kumbaya and all get along.
Well, and I should mention that the strategy does say, look, we can deal with these countries. It's not as if we're totally implacably hostile to them, but you need to address, in fact, the challenge they pose, and we need to do so from a position of strength, including the military buildup, which I have to say, so far, we haven't seen very much of. So that's why I want to ask you about the connection between rhetoric and policy. Have we seen in this first year a real connection between that strategy and implementation, practically speaking?
Only a little bit. I mean, I am hopeful, as I think you are, that this tax reform means that the U.S. has growth not at 1.8%, but at 3.5, or even higher. We need a very fast-growing economy. Only if we are prosperous and strong economically can we do all the things we need to do, including economic warfare, which backs diplomacy, including a much larger and much stronger military than we have now, one that no nation can match. It should be absolutely clear that nobody can nobody can challenge us. If they can challenge us, they will. So peace through strength is an important part of it. Has that been implemented yet? It has not. But hopefully this is the blueprint for what President Trump will try to build starting in 2018. Having a national security strategy before the end of the year is pretty good compared to other administrations that have often taken longer to do this.
Another thing that's reassuring about it, particularly from the campaign rhetoric that President Trump had, was the reliance on alliances. He basically said, the strategy says, look, we need to depend upon alliances as a force multiplier for American influence and power. And for NATO and East Asia, that's very reassuring.
That is indeed, and we should have better relations with those who are allied with us. We should have worse relations with those who don't. The UN vote yesterday at the UN, which was a poke in the eye from a lot of nations that we give a lot of money to, should be something, and I think it will be, that we're very cognizant of going forward. I think also, and this surprised people, this was not at all an isolationist or non-interventionist national security strategy. And it also made the point that one of the strengths of the U.S. is that it is a free country, that it is democratic. We may not want to go abroad nation building, but we do want to support reformers and those in other countries who have the same values we have. You can say that's kind of conventional conservatism or even neoconservatism. I kind of find it reassuring.
Okay, so what's the president's biggest success so far in the first year? I guess I would suggest it's probably the defeat of Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Would you agree with that?
I think that's an important one, although I think there's a challenge there, because if the defeat of the Islamic State redounds to the benefit of the Islamic Republic of Iran, that will be another Pyrrhic victory. We've had too many of those in the past. Right now, I do think that H.R. McMaster and James Mattis understand the threat that Iran represents as it tries to build what's being called a Shia crescent or a corridor or an empire that will include Iran as the major power in Iraq, the major power in Syria, which will be its client. It already pretty much runs Lebanon through Hezbollah. And of course, it's fighting in Yemen. I do think that there is a recognition among the Sunni Arab states that this is a huge threat and that the U.S. and Israel are needed to counter the threat of Iran. So, yes, it's a good thing that ISIS is defeated, but we can't stop there.
Big questions. All right. Thank you, Cliff May. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
When we come back, a nuclear deal at any price. A new report says the Obama administration killed a criminal probe into Hezbollah during negotiations with Iran. Those details are next.
This loop's too tight. This loop's too loose. This belt fits just right. Introducing the Comfort Click Belt, the belt that fits every time, all the time. Traditional belts have a hole every inch, which make it hard to fit. Comfort Click Belt doesn't use holes. It uses a micro precision track system. It clicks and locks into place for a secure, comfortable fit. Comfort Click is constructed with genuine leather and clean, durable stitching, complete with a strong, brushed gunmetal finish. Just click for the most comfortable fit. The clever, quick-release lever lets the belt slide on, slide off, or adjust with ease. It fits sizes up to 48 inches, so there's a perfect fit for you. Get the Comfort Click belt in black or brown for just $19.99 with a money-back, perfect fit guarantee. So get the perfect fit with Comfort Click.
Call 1-800-530-1195, or you can visit us online at comfortclickbelt.com. Don't delay, call or click today.
The Five's getting married and answering your Christmas questions. Plus,
wait, you got my mom a gift?
the must-see Secret Santa, all on the 5 Christmas special.
I'm Alex Trebek. If you're age 50 to 85, please listen carefully. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. It's a rate lock for your life insurance that guarantees your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. Many policies don't have one, but you can get a lifetime rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. This plan was designed for people on a fixed income with coverage options for just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate is locked in for life, and coverage can never be canceled. Your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and gift. Both are free, with no obligation.
Call 1-800-808-1800 for your free information and free gift, or visit colonialpenn.com. Call now.
We're going to be traveling across the country in a big green RV.
I'm kind of nervous, but I'm ready to go.
I'm just excited to meet women who are in engineering and tech.
Why aren't there more women doing physics? Everybody keeps feeling that sense of, why am I the only one here?
The thing I had to teach myself was how to hear my own voice.
To see the whole documentary, go to rtn.is/Women in STEM.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Call InventHelp now for free information.
Call 1-800-742-1037.
I bet you've never seen a bed like this. It's the new Craftmatic Legacy Rising Pillow Rest Adjustable Bed, featuring bedside power plugs, under-bed nightlights, and more for less. Up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Call now. You gotta see how little they cost.
Did the Obama administration interfere with a federal criminal investigation into Hezbollah to curry favor with Iran during nuclear deal negotiations? A report this week in Politico details those allegations, saying that the administration worked behind the scenes to thwart a decade-long investigation by the Drug Enforcement Administration into the Iran-backed terror group's drug trafficking operation, a billion-dollar business that smuggled cocaine into the United States. We're back with Dan Dan Henninger, Mary Anastasia O'Grady, and Bill McGurn. So, Mary, what's the core allegation here?
Well, the DEA, after 9/11, began doing more investigations in Latin America, particularly in Colombia, where there was a drug trafficking operation going from the FARC, which is a rebel guerrilla group that traffics cocaine, and a Lebanese organized crime unit that was connected to Hezbollah. And that was called Operation Titan. That grew and combined with other things into something called Project Cassandra. And that operation was basically going after the innermost circle of the connections between cocaine trafficking from Latin America and the leadership in Hezbollah that is backed by Iran.
And the claim is that that was shut down by the Obama administration because it would have offended Iran, which, of course, Hezbollah is a militia, more or less, of Iran.
Yes, and not only do the DEA agents say that as they got close to this inner circle, they were stymied at every turn by the administration, but they also say that the administration did not go after the big fish that they had indicted, and one of them was a Lebanese arms trafficker, and two of them were very big cocaine traffickers from Venezuela.
All right, now the administration denies, the Obama officials deny this. What's their defense?
Well, the administration says, look, you know, this is just the DEA. There's the CIA. There are many more agencies in Washington that are trying to stop terrorism. And sometimes you don't want to close in on a particular suspect because it would give away a larger operation that's important. And but the problem with that defense is, for example, there's written testimony from a former Treasury official during the Obama administration in which she says that basically they were told to back off Hezbollah and Iran issues because of the negotiation going on regarding nuclear power and arms in Iran.
Yeah, Paul, the interesting thing, 3 points that one is the political story, I believe, also said that not only did the U.S. back off, but that Iran had made the request. And This was a show of goodwill. They knew that they had a problem with these groups, and they asked them to do it. So it was in response to something from Tehran. Two, a lot of the drug business is controlled by terrorists. You know, from the IRA to the FARC, they're all in that because there's a lot of money for it. So we shouldn't be surprised. And three, should we be surprised that the Obama administration? I think wasn't it Ben Rhodes who called the Iran deal the Obamacare of the second term? This was a priority for them. Ben Rhodes bragged about how he manipulated what he called dumb and naive journalists who knew nothing into reflecting the administration line. So why should we be surprised when we learn something like this?
And Dan, why this matters, Hezbollah is the militia of Iran, and they are using money that they have now assembled 160,000, an estimate, missiles that could be aimed at Israel in the next conflict. And I think we're headed towards another, maybe not soon, but eventually another Israel-Hezbollah war.
Yeah, well, you know, I think what happened here was the Obama administration made a choice. In Obama's mind, the Iran nuclear deal was the most important foreign policy thing he was going to achieve. He thought it was going to bring more stability to the Middle East. And I'm sure they thought that this DEA administration investigation into Hezbollah was a second-level priority. Sure. Okay, they made that choice. Except that
sometimes you have to make those choices in government.
That's right. Except that Hezbollah is Iran's primary proxy in the Middle East. They fight for them in Iraq and in Syria, and as you were just suggesting, they have missiles, hundreds of thousands of missiles aimed at Israel, and we may yet pay the price for that prioritization.
Briefly, Mary.
I think we should not underestimate the degree in which Iran has penetrated the Western Hemisphere. They are deeply into Venezuela. They blew up the Jewish Community Center in Argentina in 1994. I mean, they're all over the place. That's a danger, too.
All right, we have to take one more break. When we come back, hits and misses of the week.
Fries for 316, please. Thank you.
David, what's going on?
Oh, hey.
That's it?
Yeah. Everybody, 2 seconds. Dear Sebastian, after careful consideration of your application, it is with great pleasure that we offer our congratulations on your acceptance.
Through the Tuition Assistance Program, every day, McDonald's helps more people go to college. It's part of our commitment to being America's best first job.
Each of these food boxes represents a gift of life for people here in Israel who are in desperate need. These are very difficult times for Israel and the Jewish people, as the government spends more and more of its resources for battling terrorism. The situation has become a crisis. Every week, the lines get longer and longer. This $25 food box will provide one desperately needy family here in Israel with food, with hope, and with each of these saying that it's from Christians and Jews in America who seek to bless them.
Israel and its people need your help now. You can make a life-changing difference by calling and saying that you will give a $25 food box to help a family in need in Israel. Thank you, and God bless you for your support.
If you love your friends and family, give them a meal that will truly be appreciated. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package. Sold separately, this package is filled with $193 worth of great food for the combo price of just $49.99. That's 74% off on this limited time offer. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package includes 4 tender top sirloin steaks, 4 extra thick boneless pork chops, 4 oven-roasted chicken breasts, 4 classic juicy Omaha Steaks burgers, and 4 gourmet jumbo franks. Dessert is 4 caramel apple tartlets. Your order will be delivered straight to your home or the destination of your choice to enjoy with friends and family. As a special thanks from us to you, if you order right now, we'll include 4 additional Omaha Steaks burgers free. That's 8 total. You get it all, the Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package, a $193 value for just $49.99. Enjoy the lowest pricing of the season with the Savings Celebration Package from Omaha Steaks today.
Hey, you know Progressive is America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
Yeah, she does, Pearl. Best bike I ever owned.
No, you're never alone because our claims reps are available 24/7. We even cover accessories and custom parts.
We did get an early start. Took the kids to soccer practice.
You want me to jump that cactus? All right.
That lady's awesome. I don't see a possum.
Time now for our hits and misses of the week. Kim, first to you.
So, Paul, on Christmas morning, thousands of tiny tots are going to open train sets. And one of the first things they'll learn is that if you drive too fast, they come off the rails, because even kids are smart. This is a miss for Amtrak, whose own engineers have not mastered this concept, and this week, again, killed 3 passengers in a safety accident in Washington State. It's also a miss for Congress that continues to subsidize an outfit that has a safety record like this. It's time for it to end with our better uses for taxpayer money.
All right, Mary.
Paul, this is a hit for a company called Spark Therapeutics. This week it got approval for its Luxturna drug, an injected gene therapy that treats a genetic eye disease that causes blindness in some 3,000 Americans. Now, the price hasn't been announced yet. It could be as much as $1 million. But I think the larger point is that cures for genetic diseases, which even a decade ago seemed hopeless, are now coming online, and if history is any guide, they will be more and more available to the general population.
And a very exciting time in drug discovery. Bill.
Paul, remember Charlie Brown when he was assigned to go out and get a Christmas tree, and he brought this pathetic, mangy little tree back and everyone mocked him? Well, that's happening in Rome now. The mayor of Rome gets a miss for putting up this tree that has been nicknamed mangy by the Romans. Some say it's not going to make it to Christmas. Other people think it's a symbol of Rome's decline. But it's being mocked everywhere for all the needles that it's shedding.
Dan.
Well, you know, every year the Marist poll does a poll of people and asks them for the single worst, most annoying word that they can think of. And this year, for the 9th straight year in a row, the most annoying word out there is whatever. Who can doubt it? Now, they didn't even include my own personal favorite, which is when you do a sales transaction with people, the salesperson goes, no problem. To which I say, no comment.
All right, Dan, that's it for this week's show. Thanks to my panel. Thanks to all of you for watching. I'm Paul Gigot. Merry Christmas to everybody. We hope to see you right here next week.
There could be a major job opening at the FBI with reports that Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is planning to step down as growing allegations of political bias have turned him into a lightning rod for criticism. Hello, everyone, and welcome to America's News Headquarters. I'm Leah Gabriel.
And I'm Mike Emanuel. President Trump slamming the agency's #2 official over reports that he will hold on to his current position until he becomes fully eligible for pension benefits. The president tweeting, FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is racing the clock to retire with full benefits. 90 days to go. The president also suggesting McCabe had a conflict of interest because a Clinton ally contributed money to his wife's campaign when she ran for office in Virginia 2 years ago. Meantime, in the midst of all of this, one former Secret Service agent says that changes in personnel are very much in order.
There are some people out there who are starting to question what happened here. These are fair questions. If America loses faith in the FBI, the most powerful federal law enforcement agency in this country, we're going to be in a really, really dark place. A house cleaning has to happen right now, or we're going to all be in a lot of trouble.
Ellison Barber is live in Washington with more. Ellison, is the deputy director on his way out?
Well, Mike, for weeks there have been rumors about a potential McCabe retirement, and Fox News has learned that acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe is eligible for retirement in March. A handful of outlets reported yesterday that McCabe would retire in the new year. We don't know that for sure, just that he's eligible, but those reports seem to have led to President Trump's most recent tweet storm. Trump attacked McCabe in those tweets. The White House defended the tweets on Fox News Sunday.
The president is saying we need to know that our civil servants are doing the honorable thing, and it's important the American people know what happened in that investigation.
McCabe spent 2 days and over 14 hours testifying on Capitol Hill last week. Democrats said the closed-door meetings and other attacks on the FBI are less about the integrity of the Bureau and more about the special counsel's investigation.
This hearing is part of an attempt at a lot of diversion from the real issue, which was the Russian attempt to subvert the last election. The possible collusion, well, the certain collusion by many members of the Trump campaign in it, the possible collusion by the president himself.
I think it's critically important that we respect the independence of the Department of Justice and the FBI. No one's above the law. Let Mr. Mueller do his investigation without interference from the president.
McCabe has not commented publicly on any of this. Mike?
Ellison, President Trump also tweeted about an FBI senior official named James Baker. What are you hearing about him?
James Baker was appointed to the FBI's general counsel in 2014, and Fox News has learned that he was recently removed from the council. The council is a really big deal. They're read in on all of the investigations handled by the FBI. Sources are telling Fox News Baker was not fired, but reassigned, and his reassignment may somehow be tied to a separate leak investigation. The Washington Post says sources tell them this is a normal part of a new director coming into the Bureau. Politico reported on Friday that Baker is tied to a Mother Jones journalist who first reported on the existence of the Trump dossier. Mike, that journalist says that Baker was not his source.
Interesting times at the Bureau. Ellison Barber live in Washington. Ellison, many thanks.
President Trump showing his appreciation for members of the military this Christmas Eve. The president using a video conference call at his Florida estate to speak with U.S. troops who are stationed overseas. Mr. Trump thanking the troops for their service and praising their efforts in the fight to end terrorism. Steve Harrigan is live in West Palm Beach, Florida with more. Steve?
Leah, that was the first item on the president's public schedule today, a video conference call with all branches of the military service. The president taking time out to thank them for being away from home, from their families, and often in harm's way during this very difficult period. He expressed the nation's gratitude.
Today and every day, we're incredibly thankful for you and for your families. Your families have been tremendous, always underappreciated. The military families, the greatest people on earth.
The president taking a different, more aggressive tone on Twitter early this morning, and then just again a few minutes ago, President Trump attacking the mainstream media, which he says underestimates his base and also underestimates his support in the polls. Finally, just a few minutes from now, we are expecting the president to take part in a traditional holiday call. That's the call to NORAD, the folks who protect the airspace above the United States. He will be calling to check on the progress of Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. Back to you, New York.
All right, thank you.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying he wants to reach across the aisle in the new year and find some common ground with the Democrats, especially since Republicans only have a razor-thin 51-49 majority in the Senate.
There's not much you can do on a partisan basis in the Senate at 52-48 or at 51-49, which will be the number for us next year. I don't think most of our Democratic colleagues want to do nothing. And there are areas, I think, where we can get bipartisan agreement.
Niall Stanage is White House columnist for The Hill. Niall, nice to see you. What about the Senate Majority Leader's call for bipartisanship in 2018? That may be more of a necessity with a 51-49 Republican majority, but any sign top Democrats are interested in playing ball in an election year?
Not really, because one of the difficulties here is that the political rewards in our nation right now tend to be toward the extreme rather than toward working with the other side, and that goes for both parties. You asked about the Democrats. Well, frankly, a lot of Democratic voters are mostly animated by and passionate about their dislike of President Trump and his party. That means there isn't really internal pressure on Democrats to reach out to form any kind of bipartisan consensus.
Obviously, Congress has a long to-do list when lawmakers return after essentially punting on many of the fights to January 19th. Are we going to be there on the Hill talking government shutdown then?
Well, I mean, that is a possibility. The issue of government spending has been a vexatious one for a long time. But there are some issues in which there is potential, at least, for common ground. I'm thinking here of perhaps a fix for DACA, the immigration program relating to people who came illegally to the United States as children. That's one idea. There could be some rollback of the Dodd-Frank banking regulations. That's something that some Democrats in red states have telegraphed that they're open to. So we could see some degree of progress. It's not a totally hopeless situation.
It sounds like Leader McConnell is planning to have some sort of action in the Senate on DACA in January, something to watch. Is infrastructure an area where President Trump and his team can entice Democrats with enough Republicans to get something significant done?
It is potentially. Democrats have, from the very outset of the Trump presidency, suggested that they could be in favor of infrastructure spending. But as with so much of this, Mike, it all depends on the specifics. There had been some plans rolled out by the president in the early days of his tenure. Democrats didn't like that. I remember Bernie Sanders in particular being vociferously critical. So it could be an area of cooperation, but it's not guaranteed.
Are these early polls suggesting the 2018 midterms could be rough for Republicans, likely to cause Democrats to want to run out the clock and see if they can return to the majority in the House and/or Senate in 2019?
Yes, I think they are, and I think that is a barrier to the kind of bipartisanship we're talking about. For Republicans want to prove that they can make government work, that they can get things done for voters. Democrats, in the political sense, have no motivation or incentive to help Republicans in that respect. It is a stronger argument for Democrats to say, oh, look at these guys, they can't get anything done, vote for us, and we can deliver to the people who elect us.
To the climate on Capitol Hill, a bunch of Republicans have said they would rather retire than run for re-election. That includes Congressman Charlie Dent of Pennsylvania, who says Congress is worse off now than when he started, noting a lack of bipartisanship these days. If you agree, what do you blame for it?
I think actually that Congress reflects broader issues with the nation at large here, actually, Mike. There has been research done by Pew Research and other groups showing that the population itself has become more polarized. There are fewer people who themselves hold a mix of liberal and conservative beliefs. Right. There are more people who have a very dim view of the other party. So that's where we stand, I think.
Niall Standage from the Hill, many thanks.
Thanks.
President Trump and the First Lady on the phone with North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, as they track Santa's movements this Christmas Eve. He and the First Lady will be on separate calls. You can see him right now. Let's take a listen.
So I will see you soon. When you're in Washington, you'll come and see me, okay? When you're in Washington, D.C., you'll come to the Oval Office. Yeah, thank you, honey. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Say hello to Santa. Okay, Merry Christmas, honey. Good luck with all those presents. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye.
I wish you Merry Christmas to you
Bye.
and your
Thank
family.
you. Hello, Yes. Okay. Good. Good. Okay.
Perfect.
Hi, Casper. You're from Virginia, right?
Hello, Audrey.
Hi. So what do you think? What do you think Santa's going to bring you, Casper?
Good. Merry Christmas. Are you tracking Santa?
What do you think? What would you like more than anything else? What?
Oh, it would be,
Oh, that's good. Building blocks. That's what I always like too. I always loved building blocks. Now they make them better. But I always loved. Why does Casper love building things? Well, that's great. Well, I predict that Santa will bring you building blocks. So many you won't be able to use them all. Okay, maybe you'll use them fast. Who knows? Where do you think Santa is right now? Because I could tell you exactly if you want to know, because I have it right here. Where do you think Santa is right now?
not sure if you made the list yet. Beautiful. That's very nice.
Well,
Merry Christmas.
Arizona, you're close. You know where he is?
Yeah.
Cameroon. Do you know where Cameroon is?
Parents.
Your mom will tell you. Do you know where Cameroon is?
Yes. Good night.
Cameroon is very, very far away, but Santa moves very quickly. So he'll be at your house in Virginia, in Arlington, which is a beautiful place. He'll be at your house very late at night when you're sleeping. And you'll wake up tomorrow morning, and you'll wake up, you'll have the greatest gifts. Okay, honey? And you take care of yourself. Okay, take care of yourself, and Santa's going to treat you well. Goodbye, goodbye. Thank you very much. Sounds like Casper sounds fantastic. Thank you very much. You take care of yourself. Goodbye. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Cole. Hello, Cole. How are you?
Okay.
Hello to California.
Good.
How are you? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Are you tracking something?
Ryan?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Do you know where it is?
How old are you, Ryan?
Do you have any idea?
5. Wow, that's a good age. So what do you think about Santa? You're a big believer in Santa, right?
What I see.
Huh?
So do you think something?
Oh, that is the best. So you want your grandma to get out of the hospital. That's what your wish is? That is great.
California.
That's better than asking for some toy or something, right? That's much better, right?
Asleep.
Wow. Well, I think we want peace. What do you think? Peace in the country, right?
Yeah. What do you
We've got prosperity. Now we want peace. And that'll be great, Brian. That'll be great. But it's really good. Okay, so your grandma's going to be good. Okay, she's going to be great. What else do you think you'd want? Oh, where does he work? Oh, wow. And he's busy in California, right?
Yeah.
The President and First Lady Melania Trump at the Winter White House, Mar-a-Lago, speaking to children who are calling in to find out where Santa is. They're calling into the NORAD hotline that was started back in 1955. And it started when basically a newspaper misprinted a number for children to call Santa, and they got the commander-in-chief of the predecessor to NORAD, and they started this tradition. So the President and the First Lady taking phone calls. We heard from a little boy named Ryan, it sounded like, who told the President that he would like to see his grandma get out of the hospital. The President also suggested maybe some peace, some world prosperity, which would be a wonderful thing for everyone. We also heard from a little boy from Virginia who said that he would, the President was repeating that he was saying he wanted some building blocks. So very sweet calls from these little kids and a nice touching moment from the President and First Lady. And Santa is traveling for Christmas. If you're traveling for the Christmas holiday, you're not alone. AAA is reporting more than 100 million people will visit family by plane, trains, or automobiles this year. The vast majority of them driving, and security is going to be tight in some cities to ensure that travelers are getting there safely. David Lee Miller is live from our New York City newsroom with more. David Lee.
Leah, this holiday season is expected to be a record breaker, and that does not include Santa. AAA, as you point out, says 107.3 million travelers will be heading somewhere if they haven't already done so. Most will be on the roads, despite the fact that gasoline prices are on an average about 28 cents higher than a year ago at $2.47 a gallon. More people will also be flying compared to a year ago. An airline trade group credits the improving economy. Today and December 30th are expected to be the least congested days for air travel this holiday season. The busiest airports expected to be Atlanta, followed by Los Angeles, Chicago, Dallas, and New York's JFK. And here in New York, there are expected to be some 6 million visitors during the holiday season. There is increased security at churches from midnight mass through Christmas Day. In fact, there is stepped up security forces throughout the entire city, including the NYPD, state police, and the National Guard. There is increased surveillance at bridges, tunnels, train stations, and airports. Radiation detection equipment and sniffer dogs will be in use. Governor Andrew Cuomo says there is no credible threat, but adds it's best to play it safe.
Given the recent events, we believe it's prudent to increase security at the major crossings and the major transportation hubs.
There's also heightened security throughout Europe. Police in Rome, London, and Paris are on high alert, and French officials say there are nearly 100,000 extra security personnel on the streets for the holiday season. Leah.
And we also, of course, have NORAD watching Santa and his reindeer in the sleigh. Thank you, David Lee.
North Korea with a new threat after the UN issues more sanctions against the rogue nation. With the advances it made in its missile program this year, how seriously should we take the warlike rhetoric? And President Trump says the passage of tax reform will mean more money in your pockets. Coming up, a financial expert has tips on how best to handle the extra cash if the president's right.
We are giving them a big, beautiful Christmas present in the form of a tremendous tax cut.
Merry Christmas.
Why are there so many miles on it?
What?
For great offers, visit your local Jaguar retailer during the Unwrap a Jaguar sales event.
If your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's symptoms are holding you back, and your current treatment hasn't worked well enough, it may be time for a change. Ask your doctor about Entyvio, the only biologic developed and approved just for UC and Crohn's. Entyvio works at the site of inflammation in the GI tract and is clinically proven to help many patients achieve both symptom relief and remission. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, serious, potentially fatal brain infection caused by a virus, may be possible. This condition has not been reported with Entyvio. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, experience frequent infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Liver problems can occur with Entyvio. If your UC or Crohn's treatment isn't working for you, ask your gastroenterologist about Entyvio. Entyvio, relief and remission within reach.
It's a frozen world. But right now, it's thawing out.
Every day counts out here in the summer.
You work till the sun goes down.
Summer is a season of opportunity, and I've got to grab it.
This is life without a clock.
You always got to think ahead. If you don't produce, you die.
Life Below Zero, The Thaw. New season starts Thursday, January 4th at 9 on National Geographic.
A crucial conservative voice, we look at the extraordinary journey of one of America's most influential figures, Charles Krauthammer, A Life That Matters, anchored by Brett Baer.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Call InventHelp now for free information.
Call 1-800-742-1037.
Ben, honey, it's Mom.
1 second. My mom's flight's early. This will only take a second.
Introducing August, the smart lock that lets you securely lock and unlock your door with your phone, even when you're not at home. You can set August to auto unlock, so August knows when you arrive. And when you leave, August securely locks the door behind you. Go to getaugust.com for an exclusive holiday offer and get $50 off our most popular bundle. But you must go to getaugust.com. August, the key to your smart home.
Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
Pope Francis spending the Christmas holiday at the Vatican, where in just over 90 minutes from now, he'll lead midnight mass. Earlier today, the pontiff prayed for an island in the Philippines devastated by a deadly tropical storm, and he offered prayers for world peace.
North Korea sounding off after a fresh round of sanctions from the UN Security Council in response to its missile launch late last month. The new sanctions limiting Pyongyang's access to oil and forcing North Korean workers in other countries to return home. The rogue regime calling the sanctions a, quote, act of war and threatening to retaliate against nations who supported them. Joining now is Kieran Skinner, professor of international relations at Carnegie Mellon University, a research fellow at Hoover Institution, and a Fox News foreign policy analyst. Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. You know, North Korea seems to call everything an act of war. Every single time we do joint military exercises with South Korea, North Korea calls it an act of war. So, you know, why does Kim Jong-un do this, and at what point are we going to take it seriously?
Well, the newest sanctions are so dauntingly punitive that I think there's nothing else for the North Korean leader to say. Not only are they punitive, but they are unanimous, with much of the world behind the U.S.-led sanctions resolution. And that further isolates the regime. And it will hurt its economy and the ability of the leadership to continue to develop its nuclear and ballistic missile program. So his rhetoric doesn't compare to the reality of what the world has just done.
You know, North Korea also has vowed that every country that voted in favor of the resolution would face retaliation from North Korea. So presumably that would mean Russia and China. What do you make of that?
North Korea is out of options in terms of retaliation because it attempts to play nuclear blackmail. The problem with using that type of lack of diplomacy, if you will, is that you have no other options below. So what can it do to the world but threaten some type of nuclear maneuver that would immediately hurt the Chinese, of which it is attached to territorially. So I think it's just really rhetoric and desperation.
Well, how do you think these sanctions will actually be implemented? Because in the past, the problem is the sanctions haven't been implemented as they were supposed to be by the countries involved.
The fact that we've had numerous now unanimous sanctions resolutions and that the United States is continuing to pressure the great powers that have signed on to the sanctions resolutions like the Chinese and Russians, and given that the fact that the Chinese and Russians are part of the sanctions resolutions, they are the only allies of North Korea, I think speaks to the capacity to get a much more universal compliance with them. But also they hit so many sectors all at the same time that I think their effectiveness will be much superior to ones in the past. Textiles, for example, are now banned. The importing of North Korean textiles. The North Korean workers, more than 90,000, are being recalled home from abroad within 2 years, and they've accounted for additional hard currency for the country. You just go down the list. And I think these sanctions really will work.
That's true, and yet today the AP is reporting that U.S. officials say that, when North Korean coal exports were forbidden, shiploads would basically be channeled through Russia. Sometimes goods and products would be switched from ship to ship out at sea in order to avoid sanctions being implemented.
Yes, there's more ship-to-ship compliance, I think, in the newest round of sanctions because there are ways to check for compliance that didn't exist in the past, but also the Russians and Chinese simply have much more skin in the game this time because North Korea is so out of control with the development of its nuclear program against prior UN resolutions that the Chinese and North Koreans, the Chinese and the Russians have really taken notice. They don't want an all-out war. It will be devastating for them in addition to the rest of the world.
Well, I should mention that China actually has a defense agreement with North Korea, so it's sort of to be determined what would happen if North Korea were to get into a military action with another country, including the U.S. But I want to bring this up. There's a thought that Kim Jong-un is absolutely unwilling to give up his nuclear program, that he essentially ties that to his own life and to his own staying in power, that he believes that Colonel Gaddafi would still be in place, that Hussein would still be alive if they had nuclear weapons. What do you say to that ideology, that he simply isn't going to give up his nuclear weapons program?
Yes, he's created this dangerous scenario where his regime survival and his own personal survival is tied to his nuclear program. This is an odd type of nuclear deterrence. The problem is that he's got to be able to continually convince the elites in his own country that the whole country's survival is tied to his survival, which is tied to the nuclear program. If there's any break away from him among elites, those in the military, those in China that he depends on, I think then he's taken a risky gambit, and it may not work.
All right, well, we shall see. Kyron Skinner, thank you for your insight today.
Thank you.
California in another showdown with the White House over illegal immigration. How Governor Jerry Brown is defying the Trump administration with a pair of pardons. Plus, President Trump slamming FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe amid ongoing allegations of bias at the agency. Is the criticism fair or out of bounds? We'll discuss next. But first, here's Governor Mike Huckabee.
This is not about the politics of who they were for, who they were against. Here's the issue. Is there a double standard at the Justice Department where if you have a certain political leaning, you get away with things? If you don't, you end up like Mike Flynn and you get charged.
Dry mouth has been a problem for me. I just drank tons of water all the time. It was never enough. My dentist suggested Biotine. My mouth felt more lubricated. I used Biotine rinse. Then I used the spray. Biotine did make a difference.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
$50 gift card for them, $10 bonus card for you. Only at Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Good night, Jimmy.
Good night, Mom.
Introducing
Dream Tents. All kids love tents, and now they can have their very own tent every night when they go to bed. Dream Tents are fun pop-up tents that give your kids their own private world at night. There's an undersea world, a cowboy country, a fairy tale forest, a winter wonderland, an outer space universe, and so many more. Dream Tents make bedtime fun. Kids love Dream Tents. They'll use it every single night. Dream Tents are made of high-quality material. They're extremely durable and made to last night after night. Dream Tents are easy to set up because they fasten to the bed in seconds. It's that simple. To store them, you just fold and put away. It's important for kids to read, and Dream Tents make the perfect reading environment. Dream Tents come with a personal reading light, so your kids can have their own magical reading nook. No parent wants his or her child to be afraid of the dark. Dream Tents are comforting. Kids love to curl up and sleep in their very own dream tent night after night. You can go online to mydreamtents.com to see the whole selection of Dream Tents. You can order yours for $19.95, $7.95 processing and handling. If you have a birthday, holiday, or special occasion coming up, Dream Tents make the perfect gift that kids love. You can order your Dream Tent at mydreamtents.com. That's mydreamtents.com. Must be 18 years or older to order.
Just like magic, Progressive gives you options based on your budget.
You ever feel like cliche foil characters scheming against a top insurer for no reason? Nah. So, why don't we like Flo? She has the name your price tool and we want it. But why? Why don't we actually do any work?
Why do you only own one suit?
It's just the way it is, underdeveloped office character.
You're right. Thanks, Bill.
No, you're Bill, I'm Tom. You know what? No one cares.
Fox News Channel is bringing you an all-American New Year's celebration from New York City and around the country. Catch the biggest live performances and join the conversation using hashtag Fox News 2018. Kick back and watch the ball drop with your hosts Kennedy and Jesse Waters live from the heart of Times Square. Our must-see coverage begins New Year's Eve at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fox News Channel.
California Governor Jerry Brown once again at odds with the Trump administration's immigration policy. The governor issuing 132 Christmas pardons, 2 of them for men who are awaiting deportation for committing crimes while in the U.S. Will Carr is live from Los Angeles with more. Will?
And Mike, it's no secret that Governor Brown has pushed back hard on the administration's immigration policies, and this decision appears to only be escalating that tension. Brown decided to use a Christmas tradition of granting pardons to, in his words, bestow acts of mercy on the men. We're talking about 2 men from Cambodia living in Northern California. One was convicted in 2003 for felony joyriding. The other convicted in 1995 on a felony weapons charge linked to gangs and a misdemeanor receiving stolen property. Both were picked up by federal authorities this past October in immigration raids and were set to be deported on Christmas, but a federal judge just issued a temporary restraining order. In fact, one man, Monty Neth, has already been released from custody and is back with his family. The other, Radhanak Kong, is still in custody. But in his pardon, the governor writes, several individuals wrote in support of Mr. Kong, describing him as kind and generous and as a role model to those who face insurmountable challenges in their lives. Governor Brown also butted heads with the Trump administration in October when he signed sanctuary state legislation, which placed limitations on state and local authorities' abilities to help federal immigration agencies enforce immigration laws. Important to note that just because the men were pardoned does not mean that they still won't be deported at some point. Both now have to ask immigration courts to reopen their cases. Mike.
An interesting battle between the feds and the state of California. Will Carr live from Los Angeles. Will, thanks a lot.
And back to our top story, President Trump taking aim at the top brass of the FBI after reports embattled Deputy Director Andrew McCabe may be getting ready to leave the Bureau. The president slamming McCabe on Twitter, suggesting a conflict of interest over his wife's run for Virginia's state Senate back in 2015, and that's because she received donations from a Clinton ally. Now, joining me is Chris Prudhomme, president of Vote America Now, and a Republican strategist, along with Scott Bolden, chair of the National Bar Association PAC. Nice to see you both.
Good afternoon.
All right, I want to start by actually reading one of these tweets from the president that he tweeted from Mar-a-Lago. He said, "How can FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, the man in charge, along with Leakin James Comey of the phony Hillary Clinton investigation, including her 33,000 illegally deleted emails, be given $700,000 for wife's campaign by Clinton puppets during investigation?" That $700,000 he's referring to Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. So, Chris, I want to start with you. What say you to this tweet?
So, I certainly do understand what President Trump is saying. And look, whether it's President Trump or anybody else, this is completely wrong. This is not acceptable government. We cannot have a former deputy who oversees an investigation whose wife has taken money from the state Democratic Party and other Democratic donors. Look, of course, it's in the best interest of the party. It's in the best interest of any individual that supports the party to benefit the party themselves. So why would they want to indict Secretary Clinton by any means? Of course they don't want to indict her. So this, in my eyes, is completely unacceptable. And this is frankly what people are tired of. This is, to me, fake government, orchestrated government, not real government that's just genuine and that's impartial.
Well,
Scott,
where's
Scott,
the impartiality?
hang on a second. Scott, hang on.
Go right ahead.
Scott, I have a question.
Okay,
Scott, I want to know, do you think that this is fair? Should somebody, just because by virtue of the fact that they're married to somebody in the FBI, not be able to take a campaign contribution for their own campaign?
Of course, this is completely unfair to McCabe and his wife. Here's the deal. I'm a former prosecutor. I do white-collar criminal defense right now. And let me just say this. This is political rhetoric, but it's not legal reality. McCabe is married and an FBI agent. His wife is running for a state Democratic seat. They happen to be married. Do you want him to resign from the FBI, or do you want her not to run, or maybe even break up the marriage because she chooses to have a political career? And who else is she supposed to take money from? The Republicans? It's a state house. She took money from the governor, like most Democratic candidates do in Virginia, and she also took money from the state Democratic, from the state Democrats. Where else is she supposed to get that from? So what does that have to do with the Clinton investigation? And I got to tell you, a very reliable report I saw what's being reported is that McCabe was not involved in the Clinton administration or the investigation until after his wife lost. And so this is political hand-wringing, if you will, but legally and ethically and morally, nothing inappropriate here. It's an issue that the Republicans are driving and Donald Trump is driving, but there's no bridge to bad conduct. And I got to tell you, it's dangerous and it's unfair to McCabe and his wife and the Democrats.
Well, we have seen evidence of bias at the FBI, and the president clearly feared.
Tell me, what is it?
Well, for one thing, there's the text messages that we've seen from Peter Strzok, and so there are other things that the president
has. He was removed from the investigation. As he
was indeed, but that does indicate that there was bias within the organization. Okay, let me finish here. The president also referred to documents that were sent, emails that were sent during, that were sent to Andrew McCabe from his wife that seemed to be inappropriate. I want to get your take on those, Chris.
Okay.
Chris, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh. Sorry, go ahead.
Chris, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, I want to get your take on the president believing that there were that these emails that were sent to Andrew McCabe by his wife regarding her campaign were unfair. Your thoughts?
Well, so certainly I can certainly understand what the president's saying. I mean, especially from my understanding, the emails were sent of course, on the FBI's actual server and the FBI's email account, excuse me. And I think that I can see how anyone, of course, the president can look at that as a little bit biased and telling other, according to his tweet and his information, telling individuals to support her or have an interest in her based on out of the actual FBI email. To me, that is inappropriate. That is wrong. And look, people can argue this anywhere they want. They can go back and forth. Of course, it's politics. This is what politics is. At the same time, it does not make it right.
I want to quickly give Scott last word on this.
Here's the deal, right? So his wife sends him 2 emails. He doesn't send those emails to her with a colloquy. She sent them to him. The 3rd email was someone sent to him again that he directed them to her website. Now, the Office of Special Counsel investigates hatch acts. I guarantee you, having defended many people before that agency, they would take a look at it. They would not investigate it. They wouldn't even raise their eyebrows at it because he's receiving the emails. He's not engaged in political dialogue. And so there's really nothing to look at. Again, nothing immoral, nothing inappropriate, and nothing illegal about it. This is the Republicans trying to distract from the Mueller investigation that's getting closer every day to Donald Trump.
Well, certainly something that eyebrows are being raised at, and we'll see what happens.
Only by the politicians and the Republicans.
We'll see what happens with this in the future. Excuse me. Nice to see you both. Chris Prudhomme, Scott Bolden, thanks for being with us. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
It's been 6 years since Occupy Wall Street became a national protest movement against corporate greed. Remember scenes like this? Thousands of protesters gathering in New York City's Zuccotti Park and eventually spreading to other cities. So whatever happened to Occupy Wall Street? Rick Leventhal takes a look.
Wall Street! Wall Street! It began September 17, 2011 in Zuccotti Park in New York City, just a few blocks from the financial capital of the world. Inspired in part by Arab Spring protests overseas. Wall Street is our street! Wall Street! Occupy Wall Street was a social movement against income inequality, corporate greed, and the influence of big business in politics. All day, all week, Occupy Wall Street! Almost overnight, the diverse group of demonstrators grew to tens of thousands, spreading to hundreds of cities across America.
We are the 99%!
And more than 80 countries worldwide. But patience among city leaders and law enforcement wore thin, and authorities began arresting protesters and clearing their encampments. And roughly 2 months after it launched, the Occupy movement faded into winter.
Occupy Wall Street! All day, all week!
Well, I mean, I call it like a constructive failure.
Michael White helped launch Occupy with a single tweet from the offices of a Canadian magazine in the summer of 2011, envisioning it as a leaderless movement, a revolution for the people, by the people.
Obviously, I think that it did a lot of good things. You know, I think that it changed the discourse about income inequality. It trained a new generation of activists. But did we give new power to the 99%? Did we change how, democracy functions in America? No.
The crowds that fueled its initial success eventually helped lead to its demise.
You had all these people saying, whose streets are streets?
Yeah.
And yet, they were getting in the way of people who also own these streets.
Social protest is one of the things that is necessary for the progress of democracy, and I don't think that you can have protests without people getting upset and getting their disrupted and that kind of stuff.
Occupy Wall Street evolved into something else, I would say. It morphed into something else.
Michael Gould-Wartofsky went to Zuccotti Park nearly every day for 2 months, not as a protester, but as a social scientist. Now an adjunct professor at NYU, he says the Occupy movement energized a generation.
I think it did change the conversation, and it changed the political equation, and it brought something into American politics that had been missing for a long time, which I think is the voices of ordinary people.
He cites Black Lives Matter and the surprising success of Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign as examples of how Occupy carried on.
I think it was a turning point in the political conversation, and I think it will be remembered as such.
White, whose book is called The End of Protest, says we may never see anything like Occupy again.
I think that ultimately the problem with protests is that when you do street protests alone, there's a certain point at which there's nowhere else to go. Like, Occupy was the biggest, the loudest, and after a certain point, you can't be any bigger, you can't be any louder.
White says the only way activists can truly succeed is to win elections. In New York, Rick Leventhal, Fox News.
Rick Leventhal, thank you very much.
Well, the tax reform bill is in the books, affecting millions of Americans and how much they owe Uncle Sam. We break down the numbers on Your Bottom Line. That's next.
You can't predict the market, but through good times and bad, at T. Rowe Price, we've helped our investors stay confident for over 75 years. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
QuickBooks introduces Jeanette and her new mobile wedding business. At first, getting paid was tough until she got QuickBooks. Now she sends invoices, sees when they've been viewed, and ta-da! Paid twice as fast for free. Visit QuickBooks.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Phil Swift here. This holiday season, give them the Flex Seal family of products. Everyone loves Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. Make crafts and ornaments. Keep water from leaking under your tree. And our incredible Flex Seal liquid starts out super thick and turns into a strong, flexible rubber. Brush, roll, dip, or pour to create a watertight seal that lasts for years. And with Flex Shot, it's easy to caulk, bond, and seal. This super thick rubber is perfect for caulking kitchens and baths. And Flex Tape's incredible adhesive instantly stops tough leaks. Easily make repairs on wet surfaces. Keep ice, snow, and water out of your home. All Flex Seal products make great stocking stuffers. Imagine everything you could do with the Flex Seal family of products.
This loop's too tight. This loop's too loose. This belt fits just right. Introducing the Comfort Click Belt, the belt that fits every time, all the time. Traditional belts have a hole every inch, which make it hard to fit. Comfort Click Belt doesn't use holes. It uses a micro precision track system. It clicks and locks into place for a secure, comfortable fit. Comfort Click is constructed with genuine leather and clean, durable stitching, complete with a strong, brushed gunmetal finish. Just click for the most comfortable fit. The clever, quick-release lever lets the belt slide on, slide off, or adjust with ease. It fits sizes up to 48 inches, so there's a perfect fit for you. Get the Comfort Click belt in black or brown for just $19.99 with a money-back, perfect fit guarantee. So get the perfect fit with Comfort Click.
Call 1-800-530-1195, or you can visit us online at comfortclickbelt.com. Don't delay, call or click today.
It's a frozen world, but right now it's thawing out.
Every day counts out here in the summer.
You work till the sun goes down.
Summer is a season of opportunity, and I've got to grab it.
This is life without a clock.
You always got to thank the head.
If you don't produce, you die.
Life Below Zero, The Thaw. New season starts Thursday, January 4th at 9 on National Geographic.
President Trump capping off a months-long effort to pass tax reform after signing the GOP tax bill last week. Now Americans are waiting to see how the new tax code will affect them and what they can do now before the law changes for the 2018 year. Gene Marks is a CPA, small business advocate, and a business columnist for the Washington Examiner and Forbes magazine. Nice to see you. So here we are.
Thanks for having me on.
Here we are at the end of the year when a lot of folks make some final charitable contributions. What should folks be watching for and doing in these final days of 2017 following the passage of tax reform?
You got it. Let's get right to the point, even though it is Christmas Eve, and I'm sure people don't want to be talking about taxes, but it's really, really important thing to think about right now. We've got one more week to take some action. So for starters, the concept is this. Our tax rates in 2018 are going to be going down. So what people are doing now is they're trying to accelerate any deductions into this year when tax rates are higher, and to try and push legally any income that they can into next year when your tax rates are going to be lower. So you mentioned charitable deductions, and that's a real easy one to do right away. So if you've got a favorite charity to give money to, you might want to consider giving more of a deduction now before the end of the year, because again, tax rates are higher this year, so you want to try and take as many deductions as you can against those rates. Now, it's not just charitable deductions either. There's other expenses that you can try and accelerate. See if you can prepay your property taxes or even your local taxes that you might owe to your county or to your township.
Right.
If you're able to do that, you can take that deduction this year, and that could provide a huge tax benefit for you.
And for folks on Wall Street, perhaps, who get year-end bonuses or do some kind of income at the end of the year, what should they do?
Well, there's two different sides. First of all, if you're a business owner and you've got the ability to control what you're paying your employees, it's not a bad idea to give bonuses to your employees before the end of the year. AT&T and Comcast and other big companies are doing that right now because you get a deduction for it this year. Plus, it's a really good thing to do for your employees. If you're getting income, it's really, really very tough to kind of control that. It's really up to when you receive the money. But I tell you, if you do some of your work on the side, if you're a freelancer, if you've got other types of business income that you got, say you're a musician, something like that, if you can control your income that's coming in, ask to get paid next year, defer when you're going to invoice for any services you're performing, if you're able to do that legally, try and do that. The goal is, let's get income into 2018 where our tax rates are going to be lower.
Is it safe to say a lot of our CPAs are going to be doing a little studying here over the Christmas holiday?
Yeah, there is. First of all, I'm really kind of upset because starting next year, you're not allowed to deduct the fees for your tax preparation services. So, all right, I'm going to put that aside, but that's not a great thing for us CPAs. We're still there, and we still want to provide advice. So my best advice to you is before the end of the year, definitely get with your CPA. Just give that person a call sometime in the next week and see if there's any last-minute things you can do. And you know what? Once next year starts, you're early into 2018, please, I'm telling all of our clients, meet with your CPA sometime in March or April. Plan out your tax expenses for 2018 because you want to be able to make some decisions in advance rather than scrambling around before the end of the year comes.
Some really good advice there. Gene, thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas celebrations in the birthplace of Jesus more subdued than usual this year after the president's historic announcement on Jerusalem. How the fallout from that decision is changing the way some people observe the holiday.
To most people, I look like most people. But on the inside, I feel chronic, widespread pain. Fibromyalgia may be invisible to others, but my pain is real.
Fibromyalgia is thought to be caused by overactive nerves. Lyrica is believed to calm these nerves.
I'm glad my doctor prescribed Lyrica.
For some, Lyrica delivers effective relief for moderate to even severe fibromyalgia pain and improves function. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts, or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
With less pain, I can do more with my family.
Talk to your doctor today. See if Lyrica can help.
The Five's getting merry and answering your Christmas questions. Plus,
wait, you got my mom a gift?
the must-see Secret Santa, all on the 5 Christmas special.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-650-0494.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-650-0494. or visit SoClean.com today.
Coming up, America's new secret pleasure, Deal Dash.
Another package from Deal Dash.
Thanks. I won!
DealDash.com auctions thousands of cool new products and offers a 90-day money-back guarantee on your first bid pack purchase.
Want to go shopping? Can't. I'm in the middle of a really hot auction for some super cute stuff. I won! Woohoo! Mom, what'd you win?
Sign up for exciting deals and always free shipping. Go to DealDash.com.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Call InventHelp now for free information.
Call 1-800-742-1037.
I bet you've never seen a bed like this. It's the new Craftmatic Legacy Rising Pillow Rest Adjustable Bed, featuring bedside power plugs, under-bed nightlights, and more for less, up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Call now. You gotta see how little they cost.
Santa enjoyed some extreme sports before setting off on his traditional Christmas Eve flight. A water skiing Santa enjoying the waves along the Potomac River in Alexandria, Virginia. The show happening every Christmas Eve since 1986. And this year also featured flying elves, a jet skiing Grinch, and of course, Frosty the Snowman.
Well, Christmas celebrations are also well underway in Bethlehem, but the fallout from President Trump's controversial decision on Jerusalem is casting a cloud over the holiday this year. Connor Powell is live from our Mideast Bureau with more. Connor?
Yeah, Leah, it is normally a very festive atmosphere this time of year in Bethlehem. It's just a celebration of not only Christianity and also Christmas. But this year, the events there have been marred by the violence in the last few weeks that we've seen following President Trump's decision on Jerusalem. Today, the events and Christmas celebrations in Bethlehem have been actually very peaceful. It's a significant change than what we've seen in the last 3 weeks. But the mood there is very different than the past few years following President Trump's decision. That decision is very much front and center. We've seen signs all over the place saying Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine, and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas issued a Christmas message calling on the international Christian community to, quote, listen to the indigenous Christian population from the Holy Land and reject President Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. And also the top Roman Catholic priest there, who's been very vocal in his criticism of President Trump's decision, made a very public display today crossing through an Israeli military checkpoint to enter into Bethlehem from Jerusalem. And Leah and Mike, today was calm, but we do expect these protests to start up again the next few days. And Bethlehem has been one of the sites, along with Ramallah and Hebron, where we have seen significant Palestinian protests and demonstrations that have often turned violent in the last couple of weeks. And it is expected, as I said, to continue once the holidays are over.
All right, well, we will hope that they stay nonviolent. Connor Powell in Jerusalem, thank you, and we wish you a safe and Merry Christmas.
President Trump taking aim at Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe in a weekend tweet storm, what he's saying about potential bias at the Bureau, and what a top White House aide says about the whole thing.
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. And what I love about Plexiderm is you don't have to worry about the injections, the expensive plastic surgeons, because this is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home.
I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it. I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. Honestly, it really works.
I did this to my father at home, one eye, so that we can compare. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. The appearance of his under eye bag completely gone. We were screaming. It was so exciting and amazing. You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself. The videos that you see are real. Those are the results you can expect to see.
Visit Plexiderm.com or call the number on your screen.
The holiday season is filled with joy and excitement, and it's when families spend precious time together at home. But some children won't be able to go home for the holidays because they've just been diagnosed with cancer. For these children and their families, the holiday season is a time of heartache and worry.
There was a lot of shock and a lot of disbelief.
Watching him go through all of this, it breaks your heart.
This holiday season, help give these children hope by joining St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with your $19 monthly donation. St. Jude fights every day to save the lives of children with cancer. And with your monthly gift, you'll help us continue the life-saving research and treatment that these kids need.
We thank God every day for St. Jude and for people that support St. Jude.
No family will ever receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
We are so thankful to be here.
They give you your child back.
Join with your credit or debit card right now, and we'll send you this St. Jude t-shirt that you can proudly wear to show your support. It's that time of year to help others in need, and your $19 monthly gift will mean everything to a child this holiday.
You don't know my child, but your contribution is saving his life and many lives.
Please help St. Jude fight childhood cancer. Go online or call now.
Well, here's a sweet story of giving for you. A hardworking high school janitor getting a surprise Christmas gift from some students at that Michigan school, and his reaction is going viral on social media.
You always go above and beyond for us, and like you're always like just happy, and we just wanted to give you something for
Christmas. I love you guys. Yeah, almighty. I need some really bad too. Now you know why.
The gift, a pair of work boots. The Facebook video has been viewed more than 100,000 times. Great job, kids. I'm sure their parents are very proud.
I know. I'd love to hear the backstory on that one.
Absolutely.
Sweet story.
Amen. That'll do it for us, but we will be back at 6.
The 5 Christmas specials next.
Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. I'm Kimberly Guilfoyle, along with Juan Williams, Jesse Waters, Dana Perino, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City and crunch time on the North Pole, and this is the 5. Welcome to our Christmas special. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. The sleigh bells are ringing, and Santa just stopped by to drop off our presents. We're going to open them later, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. We have a fun-filled hour for you answering your questions posted on our Facebook page. So is everybody ready?
Yes.
Grab your eggnog. Let's go. Jess already had some before the show.
Right.
Indeed. Okay, so this is a good one. We're going to start off with a bang. From Jamie D. What is your go-to Christmas gift when you don't really want to buy a gift, Greg, for someone that you know that you have to get them something anyway?
Oh, that's good. I actually just kind of go down into the basement, just rummage around. If there's something in there, I have a lot of interesting artifacts from the past, things that I've taken from museums. And
hot items.
Hot items. And I just
perfect.
by the way, I resent this whole eggnog thing. Some of us are lactose intolerant. We can't enjoy eggnog.
Yeah, we noticed.
Yes, no, but I'm tired of eggnog privilege. Okay, so stop throwing it in my face, Kimberly.
Yes, I'm so sorry. We make him drink eggnog in a little closet by himself.
It's disgusting.
Okay, so Dana, you're very good at gifts. You've been very smart at the
I like to figure out the perfect gift for someone, but for this particular question, wine is always good. Okay, I like to if the person is of age. But then this this year, so I went over to the feed store over at in Brooklyn that Lauren Bush has, and they have all sorts of different products. They're started with bags. They now have little animals, like stuffed animals and candles, things like that. And if you buy one of their products, it corresponds with however many meals that gift would buy for somebody else. So I kind of like that one this year.
I think that's very good.
I don't understand what you just said. What is it?
It's buy charitable. It's like a social good product.
So if you buy a gift, then
so basically what it is, you make a bag,
right?
And I buy it.
The store's profits go
and then
to charity.
You help people buy food with it.
How much profit? How much do they give away? Like 1%?
Most.
Oh, really? That's good.
All right, Greg. Don't try to slow my roll here on this Christmas Yuletide situation. Okay, Jesse, what would you do? Like for somebody you have to get a gift, but you don't really know what to get.
I'm a big regifter. So if someone gives me something,
cheap table,
I will then pass that off as something I bought for them. But you have to make sure you take off the name tag and the note, because I've given gifts to people, and Merry Christmas, and it goes, Merry Christmas, Frank. And it's not that person.
How often do you
it's happened once or twice. Also, I like wine, and here's why. No one knows how much the wine cost. So it could be like a $13 bottle of wine, but if you wrap it up in a nice little package.
No, there's an app. There's an app that you can
Don't tell the audience that.
They may get a Jesse gift, a regifted bottle of wine.
That's true.
Exactly.
You know what the thing is?
In your office.
You haven't written a book yet. Because that's the ultimate
the gift you give?
It's like it's just having a stack of books.
That's why I should write the book.
Yes, it's like whenever I just grab a book.
In lieu of that, I'm going to do a signed headshot.
Okay. But can you ever imagine? He's the kind of guy that gives the signed headshot when it hasn't been requested. That's the best part of it, right?
Who doesn't want a signed headshot?
Geraldo used to do that, leave his autograph on like airplanes and stuff for people.
Geraldo? My God.
No, really.
We have so much in common.
No, I know. It's amazing, really. Okay, this is hilarious, but okay, you answered this one, but the next one is from Kimberly G, which wasn't me, but okay.
It wasn't you?
No, look, Kimberly G is the next question, but it wasn't me that put this question in. Okay, so you're good at gifts.
That's like a coincidence.
You gave me the crown, which was excellent.
The definition of a
Well, I mean, money is the obvious answer, I think. You just give people money. But, so, there, first of all...
Cash one?
Yeah.
Really?
Money.
For a gift? For somebody you don't really know?
$1.
Absolutely. I mean,
Bitcoin.
You know what I like is gift cards, but then I read in the newspaper that they don't use them.
Yeah.
So then the companies just get tons of money from people who don't use gift cards because they end up in like your kitchen drawer.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, yeah, we got this gift card. And then sometimes it expires.
Well, but Jesse really loves gift cards from Del Frisco's. He really enjoys it.
But, you know,
keep them coming.
But if I actually have to go shopping, and that's very rare, I'll go like to a mall for fun, but I don't like to go shopping. But if I have to go shopping and I said, oh, somebody I don't know, and I somehow have to give them a gift, which is crazy anyway. I mean, like, you know what's happened to me this Christmas?
No, what?
Being in New York all the time, that's happened to me now a couple Christmases because I've been here. At Christmas time is I have to give the doorman money.
That's it, of course.
And you have to give the people who work in the hotel and the people at the restaurants who see you regularly. And pretty soon you're like, wow, this is expensive.
Tell me about it. My masseuse, my footman, my sous chef.
Oh, my God.
Not just my chef, but my sous chef.
But your footman is what I'm really concerned about.
Well, it's interesting. My footman, we go way back, but I won't get into it here. But
yes, I've seen
He knows a lot of dirty secrets about my feet.
Beginning with your feet. Sad to say, so do I, and I'll never quite be the same.
But let me finish my thought.
Oh, yes, there's more.
Well, I think in addition to money and gift cards, I always think plants. Like poinsettias, or is that how you say poinsettia?
You like one?
Yeah. You say poinsettia or poinsettia or whatever.
That's a commitment.
But if you're going by, like, they have them in the supermarket these days.
Yes,
they have them on set. You could grab one and then give it to one of your people that you don't know that well. They're right there in front of the...
I didn't think of that.
I'm cheap. Juan says he's complaining because he has to tip his doorman.
No, I'm saying, you know how much money eventually, because through the, not only, it's not one doorman. They're like
all the doormen.
You have a great idea about gift cards. They should be useful. Like a gift card that's like $100 for toilet paper. You're going to use that. You're going to have it in your wallet.
Why does it always go back to toilet paper?
Well, because it's useful.
You could make it for Amazon, and you can actually buy it.
Then you forget about it. You never forget about TP.
Okay, let's moving on to the rest of my awesome questions. From Kimberly G. Do you have a childhood family Christmas tradition that you've carried into your adult life? If you have, what is it? Tell us now, Dana.
Well, I guess it's attending Christmas Eve service. I always like that, like the candlelight one, except for I like to go at 7 p.m.
Oh. Get to bed by 8, huh?
Yeah. That means I'll wake up sooner and get it over with. Not over with. Santa will be there sooner.
Yes.
I've done the opposite. I've broken all the traditions because I was forced to go to church on Christmas. And now, because I can decide myself, because I'm a man, I don't go to church anymore on Christmas. That's the time you don't want to go to church.
Wow, that wasn't a very
check the mom text.
Yeah, I got to tell you something. That wasn't very
No, it's a very crowded service, and, why not go on the other Sunday?
I think you should recall that answer.
Okay.
Actually, I agree with you.
Thank you, Juan. Well, if Juan agrees now, I'm actually worried about it.
Now you should be questioning everything.
No, but I mean, it's amateur hour at church.
Exactly.
It really is.
Oh, my God.
It's the C&Es, only the Christmas and Easter people.
Who disparages the Lord in this way?
It's not disparaging. I'm telling you, I go to church every Sunday, so it's not a matter. I'm just telling you, for that service, it's like packed. And
it's like the most special day besides Easter.
I think Easter is the high.
Okay, well, all right.
Christian
So
holiday.
let's
But
see.
anyway, okay. I think, so there are two things that happen. One is ornaments on the tree. That, my parents and Delisa's, my wife's parents, both handed down ornaments. And we have now handed down ornaments, like my son, Rafi. He just got a house, and he has a bay window with a tree, and he has now ornaments that came from us.
All right, let's do a couple of these quicker, shall we? From Susan W. What is your favorite Christmas carol, Greg? Fast.
Wait, I hate Christmas carols, as you know.
Passing from Greg, going.
But wait, you didn't ask me about my tradition. My tradition is I go around the neighborhood and I see who has the most Christmas lights, and I steal their ladders.
That's actually pretty funny and devious.
You can carry a ladder all by yourself?
Yes, I can.
Good for you.
Dana, Christmas carol.
My favorite Christmas carol.
Carol Channing.
I like
Carol Brady.
I think Walking in a Winter Wonderland is a good one. I get that stuck in my head a lot.
Okay, that's a good one. I like it too.
What about Hark, Hark, the Angels Sing? Is that one?
The Herald.
The Herald Angel. That's what I said.
Gosh, you really, you're like Christmas. Jesse's like Christmas fail.
No.
Okay, Greg, do you have a Christmas carol?
I think we already came to me. I would
No, because you didn't answer.
I would take Carol Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Oh, fine. Juan, one answer.
Well, but I don't think there's much question. You know, I'll be home for Christmas.
Oh, fantastic.
I like that one.
Holy
By the
night.
way,
Let's go
can
home.
I knew it.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So my daughter got a new car this year.
What?
Is this a joke?
No, she got a new car.
For Christmas?
No.
Wait, so your son gets a house, your daughter gets a car. Trump economy's doing great.
Oh, yes.
Woo!
Way to go. So the license tag reads Hark. And I said, why is that your vanity plate say Hark? Because her last name is Harold.
Oh, very cute.
Oh my gosh, that's very cute.
Mine's H2OS.
Okay, Jesse.
Get it?
Jesse.
Waters.
There you go.
Jesse, focus.
You don't have a personalized
Kendra.
license plate. If you do, that's so Waters.
Why is that something that surprises
Are you?
No, I don't have it. Because then they can like track what car you're in, and I want to keep a low profile.
Everything about you screams low profile. From Kendra A. Jesse, you'll love this question.
Okay.
It involves your very special relationship. If you could give the president a gift, what would it be?
Signed headshot. Already did it. Already did it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Dana.
Jasper Calendar.
Oh my God, a good one. Good, Greg,
Good
probably
way
your
to
books.
keep track of the days.
Oh, obviously, I'd give him a map of Kenya.
Oh, jeez. Juan. Quick, go
Which
ahead.
president?
Juan.
Did you mean Trump?
Yes. It's a joke because remember he used to.
It's about Obama.
No,
Yes.
He would give it to,
Why is that?
no, he would give it to President Obama. He would give it to Hillary Clinton if she was the president, and also Trump. I think so.
And a case of Diet Coke.
Yeah, apparently he
That's
would
useful.
love that.
What would
I
you
love
give
Diet
him,
Coke.
Juan?
It'll last 2 days.
I would give him a lump of coal.
To make up for
You know
your
why?
what?
Because he's making coal great again.
There, see? You guys all took it as a
Look, that
negative.
coal is so much cheaper now. You
Yes.
give him 2 lumps.
2 lumps. It's you know what? and I put it in his coffee for him.
Okay.
He likes it black.
All right, we're just getting started, so stay right there because the Five's Christmas special returns with more of your questions next.
Christmas, it's the best time of the year. Now I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello.
First buy-in, $250,000. That's gonna make noise.
You built a multi-million-dollar business using your wits.
I'm about to be charged in federal court.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Molly's Game, rated R.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
$50 gift card for them, $10 bonus card for you. Only at Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir. What can we do for you? No, I think you have the wrong house, sir.
What you doing?
Hey, man. Don't do it.
I got you on camera.
Ho, ho, ho! Phil Swift here. This holiday season, give them the Flex Seal family of products. Everyone loves Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. Make crafts and ornaments. keep water from leaking under your tree. And our incredible Flex Seal liquid starts out super thick and turns into a strong, flexible rubber. Brush, roll, dip, or pour to create a watertight seal that lasts for years. And with Flex Shot, it's easy to caulk, bond, and seal. This super thick rubber is perfect for caulking kitchens and baths. And Flex Tape's incredible adhesive instantly stops tough leaks. Easily make repairs on wet surfaces. Keep ice, snow, and water out of your home. All Flex Seal products make great stocking stuffers. Imagine everything you could do with the Flex Seal family of products.
We go inside Eisenhower's final days in office and the final mission of an American giant. Watch as Brett Baer anchors 3 Days in January, tonight.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Call InventHelp now for free information.
Call 1-800-742-1037.
Ben, honey, it's Mom.
1 second. My mom's flight's early. This will only take a second.
Introducing August, the smart lock that lets you securely lock and unlock your door with your phone, even when you're not at home. You can set August to auto unlock, so August knows when you arrive. And when you leave, August securely locks the door behind you. Go to getaugust.com for an exclusive holiday offer and get $50 off our most popular bundle. But you must go to getaugust.com. August, the key to your smart home.
I bet you've never seen a bed like this. It's the new Craftmatic Legacy Rising Pillow Rest Adjustable Bed, featuring bedside power plugs, under-bed nightlights, and more for less, up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Call now. You gotta see how little they cost.
I'm on fire inside, delightful, but I've got no place to go. So let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Well, I got no signs of stopping. So get out the bag, start chopping, and put on.
That was a Christmas Carol, right?
I could listen to that all day. Drown out the voices in my head that are telling me to kill. All right, we're back with more questions. This is from Andy M. If you could choose to be someone's secret Santa, living or dead, well, that's a high point, and give them a gift, who would you choose? Dana.
Oh my gosh. Secret Santa, living or dead. You're the first, actually, I don't know why. The first person that comes to my mind is my grandfather. He did pass away on my Leo Perino. He was a great, wonderful man and ran the ranch until he died the day after Thanksgiving, 2001.
Wow.
I don't know why this all came back to me, but it's the holiday. So yes, I would love to have been his secret Santa.
There you go. Jesse?
I mean, this is a weird question.
It is a weird question.
I think just anybody that was born or died before the invention of television, I would give them a television so they could watch me on television.
Oh my God.
It's not necessarily me, but like Fox News or Fox and Friends.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Yes.
Oh
I gotta tell
Water's
you
World,
something.
mainly.
He's not
Mostly Water's
even. He's
World.
not even like kidding or like trying to be funny. This
Wow.
is like straight up truth serum. He's
I think
like,
it's so
obviously-
funny.
Are you joking?
I admire it.
No.
Yes,
He's
I
not
am.
joking.
He's not joking.
Oh my God.
That's a tough question.
What about you, Juan Williams?
Well, I had the same reaction Dana had. That I make it really personal. I think about people who are important in my life. I mean, Christmas for me, the fun part about Christmas is family. So I would think back to parents or even, in a professional sense, mentors, people who really, give me a boost along the way, and I'd like to say thank you because you see it better in retrospect than you do at the moment.
Kimberly.
Well, I would want to probably be able to go back again and give a present to my mom or my dad. And that would be more time with them.
Yeah.
I looked at it a different way. I chose Adolf Hitler.
Oh, here we go.
And the gift would be a bullet to his head.
Excellent.
There you go.
Money well spent.
Those voices that are telling you to
Yes, yes. You were number 3 on the list,
Thank
Juan.
you. Well, this is Christmas.
We
that's
have
the thing.
excellent health insurance that can help someone like you.
Not at Christmas.
No.
I'd slip him an eggnog.
Oh, nice segue, Juan, from Gabriella B. Do any of you like eggnog? And if
Yes.
so, do you like it with some booze, Kimberly?
Yes. I like eggnog with some delicious Puerto Rican rum in it.
Wow, that sounds scary.
No, it's
That
actually
sounds like something that would make me sick to my stomach.
not at all. It's actually quite tasty. It's kind of, think of like how like Bailey's and,
Yeah.
that would, It's kind of like that.
What about you, Juan? Are you an eggnog fan?
I'll taste it. You know, it just is the kind of thing, though, that ends up in the fridge after Christmas. And you think, why is this here, like, you know, January 3rd?
You have to add alcohol to it.
Well, I know, but nobody, I think people buy it because they think someone's going to go get it, but nobody really go gets it.
Yeah, what about you?
I put a little ice and some bourbon, but I'm a little upset. You guys think I'm a real egomaniac. That was not the point of the answer. Was that you want to give someone something that they don't have access to, and when they're just dazzled by it technologically.
Yes, and you would
dazzle. Make that clear.
Yes. It's basically DSM-5 access to diagnosis, narcissist, delusions
Jesse has become one of my favorite people in all the world.
What about
eggnog? I don't like the drink, but I like the flavor a little bit. So I like eggnog taffy. You know, like the little ones that come in the candy.
Like always has to be a little version.
Yeah, and then they always have a little stamp of mistletoe on it.
So, you know what I'm talking about?
We can't talk about mistletoe around here.
You haven't got me any candy in a long time, by the way.
By the way,
I'll fix that.
I love eggnog. There's nothing better than a big, cold glass of pancake batter, you know, with a little bit of Everclear. What are you, crazy? It's the most disgusting thing ever made.
If I make you one, you will drink it.
I will not, and then I'll throw up all over your nice couch that I've never seen.
Assuming
America.
An invitation.
I've never seen her couch.
Okay.
Let's
Merry
make that
Christmas,
clear.
everybody.
Merry Christmas. We'll be right back. This is from Randy B. Do you all talk shop politics at Christmas gatherings with family? I'm really curious if Juan does, considering all of his conservative family, I would add members. Juan, I'll go to you first.
Well, it's inevitable. You know, the thing about my family is that it's the business kind of. You know, everybody's involved with politics for the most part, so it comes up, yeah. But we avoid arguments. Although Obamacare led my youngest son, Rafi, who is a staunch Republican conservative, to get into a fight with me once.
Oh, really? Was it a yelling fight?
Yes. We don't punch.
I mean, like it got heated?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that.
Who won the argument, Juan?
Jesse, who wins with you?
His son?
That's a good way to put it.
Jesse, but now you're the reverse. Your parents are liberal, and you're so anything.
Yeah, so we had 8 years of Obama Christmases, which were tough on me mostly. But now Trump's president, and
it's a white Christmas.
I got a little cocky.
It's a white Christmas.
I got a little cocky last Christmas, but after a year of Trump won. You know, there's going to be a little more debate at the table this year, so I'm going to have to defend myself. But it'll be fun. I can handle it. Just a few glasses of eggnog.
Dana, well, I don't know your political background in your family, but you're kind of a celebrity.
I'm a no politics zone on Christmas. Everybody knows it. This is nothing. Unless you agree with me, and then we can talk all day.
Kimberly, over here.
Yes, I know. I don't really talk politics or anything at Christmas anymore.
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't. I used to have this problem.
Yes. Oh, that's right. You were married to a liberal mayor of a city.
Yes. Don't tell anyone.
yes.
Austin, Texas, everybody. Yes. Beautiful city down south.
We don't talk politics in my house, but then again, we don't talk at all because we hate each other. So at Christmas, we just sit quietly around a table and brood. Sometimes just doing shots of cheap rot gut. And then we get sick in the yard. Merry Christmas, everybody. All right, more answers to your questions when we return.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. What fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. What fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
When you have moderate to severe ulcerative colitis, the unpredictability of a flare may weigh on your mind. Thinking about what to avoid, where to go, and how to work around your UC. That's how I thought it had to be. But then I talked to my doctor about Humira and learned Humira can help get and keep UC under control when certain medications haven't worked well enough.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Raise your expectations and ask your gastroenterologist if Humira may be right for you. With Humira, control is possible.
This holiday season, the frigid temperatures won't show any mercy on the animals who've been left outside in the cold to die. Animals who've been abandoned and neglected, who are freezing with no shelter. And every moment they spend suffering could be one moment too late.
So tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace.
We need your support more than ever this season. Thousands of lives are on the line, so please call this toll-free number or visit joinaspca.org with your $19 monthly gift now. We need 3,000 new donors in the next 30 days so we can rescue more animals this winter. They're fighting to stay alive. Please find it in your heart this holiday season to help them. Go online or call now and join our fight to rescue these innocent animals from cruelty. And because the situation is so urgent, we're asking you to join in the next 10 minutes. And if you do, we'll send you this free membership kit, including this Animal Champion t-shirt. This is your last chance to get this limited edition item, so act now.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
It's the season of giving, and your monthly donation could be the greatest gift you give to an animal who needs you. Go online or call now.
Live from America's News Headquarters, I'm Leah Gabriel. Pope Francis celebrating Christmas Eve Mass at the Vatican. The pontiff telling the faithful gathered in St. Peter's Basilica that Christmas is, quote, a time for turning the power of fear into the power of charity. The Pope is set to deliver his Christmas Day message from St. Peter's Square. President Trump making his first Christmas Eve in office by placing a video call to soldiers stationed overseas. The president thanking the men and women of the armed forces for spending this holiday away from their families. He then joined First Lady Melania Trump to answer children's phone calls to the NORAD Santa Tracker. The Pentagon program has been following Santa's flight path for more than 6 decades. I'm Leah Gabriel. I'll see you at the top of the hour for America's News Headquarters with Mike Emanuel. Now back to the 5.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting-a-tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather, stay right together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather, for stay right together with you.
Merry Christmas, America, and all those other countries. Welcome back to the 5's Christmas special. Thank you to all the viewers who posted questions on our Facebook page. Ready to answer some more. All right, first one from Linda B. Yes. Kimberly. What is your favorite winter activity?
My favorite winter activity.
What were you just going to say?
You read my face.
I did.
Well, believe it or not, I was actually thinking about indoor activities during the winter that are quite fun and warm. Like,
Just go with your first answer.
No, I was thinking, like, it's so nice to come inside and take, like, a really warm, hot shower or sit in front of a warm fire.
That's a nice activity.
Yes,
yeah,
or
by the
take
fire.
a really nice, hot, warm bath with, like, candles and a beverage.
Okay, all right.
Yes, or if you go outside, I like to hot tub in the snow, too.
Wow, that's great.
Wow, Juan, can you top that?
No, to me, Christmas and the cold weather, I'm just not a fan. But I guess if there was one thing, it would be staying at home, like when the snow really falls, heavy, and you get to cocoon because everybody says, well, you can't get out, except for Fox News, who says, we'll send a car for you.
Oh, they'll find a way.
They'll find a way.
Yeah.
Well, mine is sledding, obviously. Everybody likes sledding. What about you?
I like a jigsaw puzzle.
That's not a winter activity.
Well, wow,
You can
it
do
is
that
for me.
anytime.
Wait, wow, yours are very different from mine.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, Dana's going with Jigsaw. Greg.
My favorite winter activity is snowmobiling, which sucks because I don't have a snowmobile. So I've never snowmobiled before.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah.
Don't drink while you snowmobile. All right, from David T.
That's true.
Is there anyone in modern pop culture that you would stand in line to get a selfie with? Dana.
Garth Brooks.
God, that was right on the tip of your tongue.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
And have you gotten a selfie with him before? No.
Never. I never met him.
Ooh.
That's
Did you hear
not
that,
true.
Garth?
I did meet
Are you
him when
watching?
I was a reporter in 1995. Yes, in 1995, I was he was coming to Illinois to this small town where they made his CDs and tapes, and the millionth one was about to come off the assembly line.
What's a tape?
And a cassette tape.
Oh, thank you.
It was like a long time ago. And I got to go and interview him.
That's great.
Yeah, so I did, but there was no selfie thing.
No. Free selfie.
Yes.
All right, Juan?
Well, I think Michael Jordan's alive. It has to be someone alive. So
That might be mine, too.
yeah, Michael Jordan.
I'm going with Jordan. Kimberly?
I don't know. The only one I can think of, I wouldn't stand in line for anybody except maybe Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. People want a selfie with you. That's what the real truth is.
And they can have it.
For a small fee. Gutfeld.
Adolf Hitler.
Oh, why is that your
Shoot
answer?
him in the head.
That's your answer for everything. All right, you got Hitler on the mind, Gutfeld.
You're having a Merry Christmas.
Scrooge you are. All right, we're going to go with number 4 from David L. Has anybody thought about switching to the other party? And what would it take you to get to switch? What about you, Juan? Every time we debate, it seems like you're teetering. To start agreeing with me. Am I misreading that?
Misreading.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no,
I thought I was right.
You know what? I give Jesse a shot every time. I want to hear what he thinks. That's
No,
interesting.
but it doesn't change your mind.
Well, it hasn't, no.
Yet.
That's yet. Okay. But, I mean, to me, this is an interesting question because I am pretty conservative on a lot of issues. Like before, we talked about church going.
Yes.
Or you talk about family values.
School choice.
School choice. I could go on, but, you know, it's always that, especially now, the lack of outreach, the lack of awareness, the arguments that tend to be so racially charged just turn me off.
Okay, that was depressing. Kimberly.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I should or have any interest in doing that, you know? I feel like I already jumped coasts, you know?
You already switched.
Yeah, not really, no, because I was always what I am, per se.
Did you have to be a little liberal when you were married to that really radical mayor out west?
Not really. Just ask him.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Never thought about it. Switching.
Never.
No.
Ever.
No, I am who I am.
You're so bipartisan, though, Dana.
But I'm fair, and I feel a little apolitical now.
Yeah.
But I still think, if you were to ask me, my gut instinct on a lot of issues, I just bleed that way.
Okay. You bleed red. Gutfeld. To the Green Party, maybe?
I don't belong to any party. I don't think I've been in a party in a long time. But if I would, the party would have to be I would join a party that would be up to date on artificial intelligence, automation, terror, technology, and of course drug legalization.
Wait a second.
That would be my party.
I thought you were somewhat libertarian.
Yeah, I am.
But you're not I
don't belong to a party. I don't need labels, man.
You're the no labels party. Yeah. That's it. You just walked right into that one.
He's a decline to state.
We're going to do this one real quick around the horn. What is your favorite Trump tweet of the year, Kimberly?
Oh, jeez.
There's so many to pick from.
I like any of them that have "so sad" exclamation point at the end.
What about you, Juan?
I have yet to see one that's a favorite.
No.
Mostly I'm outraged by them. I mean,
no, you read them with
some of them backfire and end up helping your party, so you might like some of those. I like all the ones where he puts @Fox News at the end of it. Or @Fox and Friends.
I think the one I really liked was Little Rocket Man.
Little Rocket Man, that was a classic. And Greg?
I wish I had a head start on this question because there was one in November or December that caused a complete meltdown.
Kofefe.
It was something.
No,
it was
Mika.
No, it might have been Rocket Man. It was where everybody just thought we were going to all go to war. Yeah. And it was any one of his tweets that causes the media. Yeah, that's true. I thought the one that he did after the Roy Moore was very classy. The one to the
Doug Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, a classy Trump tweet.
Yeah.
Very presidential. Modern day presidential. A quick break, and in a short while, we're going to open some presents from our Secret Santa. Don't miss it.
And that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The party's on. The feeling's here.
The Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
When one of you joins the Alliance, the battle begins. Build the greatest fortress. Command the fiercest army. And summon the mightiest of allies. What are you waiting for? Join the adventure. Final Fantasy 15, A New Empire. Download and play now. Free from the App Store.
Why do so many people love CLR for their toughest cleaning jobs?
I used CLR, and it's like I have a brand new shower head.
Now my nasty toilet is completely clean.
CLR's patented formula works quickly with no hard scrubbing, and it carries the EPA's Safer Choice seal. Take it from satisfied customers everywhere.
Does a great job without a lot of work.
There's no clean like CLR Clean.
For more information, visit us on social media.
At the end of the day, there's nothing better than a glass of wine, especially that first sip. The taste is so important, and wine just doesn't taste as good a day after it's been opened. What if you didn't actually have to open the bottle at all? With my Coravin, I never need to pull the cork. I simply insert the needle, tip, and pour. The cork reseals to preserve the rest of the bottle for months or even years. At home, relaxing with a glass of wine or entertaining friends, just insert, tip, and pour. Buy Coravin at these fine retailers.
If you love your friends and family, give them a meal that will truly be appreciated. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package. Sold separately, this package is filled with $193 worth of great food for the combo price of just $49.99. That's 74% off on this limited time offer. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package includes 4 tender top sirloin steaks, 4 extra thick boneless pork chops, 4 oven-roasted chicken breasts, 4 classic juicy Omaha Steaks burgers, and 4 gourmet jumbo franks. Dessert is 4 caramel apple tartlets. Your order will be delivered straight to your home or the destination of your choice to enjoy with friends and family. As a special thanks from us to you, if you order right now, we'll include 4 additional Omaha Steaks burgers free. That's 8 total. You get it all, the Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package, a $193 value for just $49.99. Enjoy the lowest pricing of the season with the Savings Celebration Package from Omaha Steaks today.
When you really want to save big on a hotel, just go to Priceline. They add thousands of new deals every day, up to 60% off.
That's how Kaylee and I got to share this trip together at this amazing hotel.
Yeah, Ash and I share everything. Dresses, makeup, water bottles.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm. We share secrets, shoes, toothbrushes.
What?
Yeah, I forgot mine, so I've been using yours.
Seriously?
Well, what's the big deal? I mean, we even dated the same guy.
Who?
Go to Priceline and get the hotel deals you won't find anywhere else.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the
Welcome back. We're going to answer a few more of your Christmas questions before we tear into the gifts. Kimberly, #1 question from Kathy E. Do you like warm weather or cold weather?
Oh, I really love warm weather.
And tell us why.
Yes. Well, because you get to be outside and do fun things, and also hot tubbing outside.
But you were hot tubbing in the cold weather.
Yes, because
What is
that's
your
how much I love
favorite
it.
warm weather activity?
We're going back there.
That is it.
Why not?
But you want me to make something up or tell the truth?
No, tell the truth.
That is I love warm weather. I love to go to like tropical locations. I like to be on the beach or, by the pool and, in a bathing suit and having fun.
So unusual that you would like sort of things like that.
Jesse?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the summer because, you know, you get tan, swim, cocktails.
Pop the collar.
Not that hard. Collars up.
Spring break, water's
Collars
world.
up, sun's up.
It's a natural
Yeah, you know, sun's up. I mean, because the time difference, I think we get more daylight. It's
Yeah, we
much
get more
better.
daylight.
All right.
Warm.
Dana. Oh, warm.
Warm, obviously.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know, where you come from, they're beautiful winters. Beautiful snow-covered fields.
What is that supposed to mean, Juan? Where you come from?
But still,
She comes from the plains, from
the plains.
the western plains.
Yeah, I mean, there are
Jesse wants to
days when
argue.
it's pretty, but it's not like I don't like the whole season and it's too long. I like the warm weather.
All right,
Jigsaw
Gregory.
puzzles.
Hey, Gregory, let's keep Hitler out of it.
All right. I was going to say I don't like any weather, and we don't have to like weather. It's not like we're living in caves. I'm going to go with the fall because that's when everything dies.
Oh, God.
You really, this is like, now,
Merry Christmas.
now it's time for an intervention. Before it was joking.
I love that show. Do you ever watch Intervention?
No.
I know like half the people.
Oh, stop. All right, so let me go back to you because this is an opportunity for you to have some,
Okay.
make it up. All right,
Normalcy.
if you could throw a snowball at one person, Greg, who would it be? This question is for Greg. It comes from Lisa R.
Duck, Juan.
Yeah, really?
No.
Adolf Hitler. And it would be a snowball full of bullets.
Yikes. Dana?
Man, that's a tough. The one that comes to mind is Keith Olbermann.
Oh.
Remember, because he called all of us the worst person in the world.
Who? He called the fox or the
Well, no, just in general, probably all of us.
I think I was it once. You were it. I'm sure Jesse was 4 times.
I was it. Yeah.
I don't think I was it. No.
Jesse?
There's still time.
I would throw a snowball at de Blasio, the mayor of New York City.
Good choice.
And then he probably wouldn't plow it afterwards.
Oh.
He
Probably
doesn't
wouldn't
plow.
feel it either,
By the way, that is so funny. After you threw your snowball at him and missed, rookie, I would throw mine and hit him square on.
Big target.
Yes.
All right.
That was
No,
her
that
answer.
was
That was the
my
answer.
answer.
Wait, but that was his answer.
No, but
She
see,
was
he's going to
adding
throw
on.
it and miss and whiff, and then de Blasio is going to think that he was okay and he didn't get hit with it, and then that's when I nail him because I'm the closer.
All right. So anyway, don't move. If you leave now, you're going to miss our big Secret Santa reveal. We've been waiting for this all year. Stay with us. Right back.
I accept I don't conquer the mountain like I used to. I even accept I have a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. But whatever trail I take, I go for my best. So if there's something better than warfarin, I'll go for that too. Eliquis. Eliquis reduced the risk of stroke better than warfarin, plus had less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis had both.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
I'm still going for my best, and for Eliquis.
Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
A crucial conservative voice. We look at the extraordinary journey of one of America's most influential figures, Charles Krauthammer. A Life That Matters, anchored by Brett Baer.
I'm Alex Trebek. If you're age 50 to 85, please listen carefully. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. It's a rate lock for your life insurance that guarantees your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. Many policies don't have one, but you can get a lifetime rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. This plan was designed for people on a fixed income with coverage options for just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate is locked in for life, and coverage can never be canceled. Your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and gift. Both are free, with no obligation.
Call 1-800-808-1800 for your free information and free gift, or visit colonialpenn.com. Call now.
I want my hair to stop falling out.
I'm sick of looking at my scalp. I am done with thin, damaged hair.
I need my hair back.
I want the hair I used to have. I want thick hair and full volume.
Ladies, if you want to regrow thicker, fuller hair, let us send you a risk-free trial of the #1 women's hair regrowth system in America, Caranique. It's so popular, a new woman tries it every minute. Get your risk-free trial today, because this offer may not last forever. Call 1-800-991-2838. You'll see thicker, fuller results right away, guaranteed. Plus, the Caranique hair regrowth treatment is designed to reverse the signs of hair loss with the only FDA-approved ingredient that's clinically proven to regrow women's hair. Be proud and take back your hair. For your risk-free trial, call 1-800-991-2838. That's 1-800-991-2838.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell.
Welcome back. The wait is over. Our Secret Santa reveal begins right now. I guess I get to go first.
Of course.
And we have like multiple things, which is very nice. I'm going with the first bag because they told me to. I'm going in here for something. Will it be obvious to me who gave it to me? Okay, let's see. Oh, that's so cute. Little Jasper T-shirt.
Yeah.
I will actually wear this.
No, but look.
It says down dog.
Yeah, and look what he's laying on.
Yeah, my yoga mat.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
So it's down dog yoga mat.
This is cute, Juan.
Oh, she
Juan's
doesn't
so
have enough stuff with dogs
thoughtful.
on it, Juan.
I love that. I'll wear that.
You'll wear that.
I will wear that for sure. Okay, and then I get.
No,
one more
you
thing
don't seem like the type who would wear a shirt with a dog on it.
Oh, really? What kind of name a person you think would do that?
Did you get?
Jokelopedia. Oh, for my corny jokes?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I really needed this because I was running out. Oh, for my corny jokes?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I really needed this because I was running out of material.
Because I'm the biggest fan on Dana's
thank
corny
you.
jokes.
Wow, wait, I could cry because these are really thoughtful and not mean.
Why'd you look at me about?
Okay, the third one. Sorry, I know we have to hurry. We don't have to edit anything out. Is this for my Great Point Journal?
It is.
Ah, the Great Point Journal. Dana's.
It's got your name on it.
Dana's Great Point Journal.
Wow, that's very funny.
Look inside.
That's very
They're good
funny.
points.
Very thoughtful one.
Dana to Greg. It's not a good point journal. It's a Great Point Journal.
Great point.
Did I say
That's
that?
your first great point.
This is my first great point. Thank you. So thank you, Juan.
Hey, note to producers, speed it up when people are unwrapping, just like you're doing a man on the street.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, Jesse, you get to go first.
We don't edit Man on the Streets. That's all real, Gutfeld. All right. Here
Thanks,
we go.
Juan. I love that.
This looks really nice.
Ooh, it's a box. You always wanted a box.
Jesse's mom.
What is it?
Oh, this is like the movie Seven.
Oh, no.
You're ruining Christmas.
Oh, wait, you got my mom a gift? Wait, who got this?
Well, she needs to relax.
Who had Jesse?
After watching the show.
Oh, that's not. You bought it. You got a gift from Crabtree and Evelyn.
Wait, I thought I was supposed to.
Wait, you still have gifts. You missed something in here. In here.
People
Hold on.
I have another one.
Here.
Well, thank you. My
Dana,
mom
you
thanks
did.
you. My mom thanks you.
Dana,
very
did
much.
you have him? I don't understand. Oh, because it seems unclear.
A subscription.
That's a National Review.
This is great. This is great. National Review. I would have taken the Federalist.
Okay.
As well.
But you also
Or
got the Weekly
Commentary
Standard.
Oh, Weekly
I got
Standard.
you 2 magazines, so now you can be
These will.
right online with me.
I cannot wait to just pour over all this material.
Yeah. I can tell you're a
Why
Weekly
Trump
Standard.
needs to be removed from
Yes,
office.
there you
I
go.
know, National Review. They're
I'm
right.
teasing.
They're on the. Seems like they're on the train. Okay.
Thank you very much.
This is yours.
I don't understand.
More?
This is
I
the
only
last
got
one.
gift.
Wow, it's
gift
my
is
lucky day.
Very special.
Oh,
Wow.
I feel like this is going to be a
Holy
spoof.
smokes. This is a big one.
Hold on. We got to cut this one open.
Here.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, do we have anything to show for this on this thing?
Is this a joke?
No. Okay.
I cannot.
This is
What
a
is
callback to
What's in the
something
box?
Oh, you didn't do it. Yes, I love you. I love you. Oh my gosh, this is the Michael Jackson
Oh, I'm saying
jacket with the zippers. This is what my mom refused to buy me when I was little. But she said it cost too much.
Put it
And it was
on.
only $30. And you got it for me. I love it.
Oh my God.
Come here. You are the best. asked, can I wear this for the rest of the show?
I think you have to.
I think you have to.
Wow.
I've never seen you so happy
This
in
is
my
so
life.
awesome.
You're looking lovely,
Look
dude.
at that.
That,
Hold on.
Hold on. That seems expensive.
I know.
Whoa! Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice. Smooth criminal.
This is hilarious.
By the way, how appropriate.
Thanks, KG.
Do you need an alibi?
Yeah,
Alibi.
I need two.
All right.
I just would say stay out of the village while you're in.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Is it just how you thought it would be?
Yes, I do. I can't wait to put everything in the zipper pockets. Everything.
Your Del Frisco gift cards.
Oh my God!
man.
You
All
have
right.
to wear that in the building.
By the way, also it fits.
Who's
is
next?
great.
Who's
Perfect.
next? I don't
Cool
have the thing
criminal.
in front of me on the prompter.
Produce, please.
Producers.
Juan is next. Juan, you go next.
Oh, I go next. All right. Look, I got
anyone
Jesse's
hearing
scissors, so I
anything?
can just be quick about it. What is it? It's a mask. Industrial safety
Oh, I
equipment.
know what this is. This is from Kimberly.
It is?
How did you know?
Because the
Oh, I
spray.
told you?
No, because you always get spray from the hair stuff on his face.
Oh, while you're
Listen,
very thoughtful.
why don't you
This is
show
useful.
everybody what it is?
So
Open
it's
it up.
I have to open it up.
Yes, because when you get dressed,
Tell the story.
Okay, so every day
Mom gets sprayed like
before the
bug
show
spray.
starts,
Yes.
Kimberly, the makeup people come to take care of the beautiful Kimberly, and they spray hairspray. It is a cloud.
cloud.
It is a cloud, and I
cloud
walk
of
away.
beauty.
Well, that's true too.
Thank you.
I'm privileged to sit here, but
That's why one seems so slow
Juan, put it
during the
on. You gotta
show.
put it on. This
I have to
is
put it
really
on. You want me
A lot
to
of
put it
fumes.
on?
Yeah,
Oh my God!
totally.
Let me see here. Ah,
And the
Kimberly.
head.
And there
That's
it is.
awesome.
I'm gonna die because you know I'm a claustrophobe. Oh my God, Kimberly! Oh, help!
This is one of the highest rated shows in cable. Just so you know, America.
I mean, I'd watch it.
All right.
All right, Kimberly. You're,
Wait,
we have
there's
one more.
one more here.
Why does everyone have multiple gifts but me?
My gift. Never mind.
Oh my gosh, this is too sweet. Who gave me this
Oh
gift?
my God.
Same person that gave you the first one.
Me.
You?
Yes.
Well, this is so wonderful.
Because your whole family.
You gotta show.
We'll
You
show
gotta
the
show.
on television.
So this is my family.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Because
that's
you do
really
all
nice.
these special one more things about your
I
family.
love my family,
That's
although
so
Greg
sweet.
Greg mocks them, but I like them.
Look at how
Mock your
gorgeous.
family.
You can
It's
hang
just all
this if
family.
you
I
would
mock all
hang this in
families.
your office.
I could. That'd
Okay.
be very
I love
nice.
it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Super cute.
That's nice.
You know what? That was very thoughtful.
Oh, thank you.
That really speaks
Hey,
to
G,
me.
you get to
And
go
I hope-
next.
but we're going to do volume 2 of that for the rest of the family in case you thought you weren't included. Okay, I'll open my one gift.
But look how big it
Ooh,
is.
it's big.
Yeah, but usually I get big gifts, but they're like cars.
Yes. This is a incredible. This is one of a kind.
Jewelry.
It's worth a lot of
Remember
money.
last year you got him the unicorn?
Yes, I blew his
Almost
pants
fell-
up.
Yeah,
Wasn't that funny?
yes.
Really?
Yes.
It
was pretty
like
awesome.
That thing, you blew him up.
Does this
feel amazing.
I think you can still find it somewhere online.
I love it so much.
Is this
Where did
a joke? Is this a gag gift?
No, it's not. It'll make you gag.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
My
Oh my God.
God. Look,
You-
and look at the red eye.
It's red eye.
Red eye, baby.
It's a
Is this a re-gift?
dude, this is a one-of-a-kind portrait of me, and I want you to have it, and I want it where you can see it every morning when you wake up.
Let me tell you something.
So
this says painted in 2011, so this is like a six-year-old.
That's why you have to take off the tag.
It
I
is
told
a
you.
beautiful, beautiful portrait. I've had it in my office, but I want you to have it.
You know what? One time I had a Christmas gift from a guy that gave me a cactus that said, "Watch out for pricks." This is it. Now I know what he meant. Okay.
Oh,
Jeez.
wow.
I have
My
all those
stomach
other
hurts.
framed
Yeah.
pictures.
All
That's
of
a
you.
beautiful
Greg, your turn.
All right, I got a couple here, Kimberly.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
somebody must really like me. Mistletoe.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, no, it's
get it.
Yeah, baby.
Haven't you been reading the news?
It's the season. It's the season. We're going to make an exception.
And it's real mistletoe.
It's
Remember
real.
Jesse's like,
All right.
wait, people go into the mistletoe? Now he loves
Yes.
it.
And this is the next gift, I guess?
I don't know.
All right. Number 2.
Wow, it's like
How many
boxing
times have
them
I
off.
gotten that for Christmas? All right.
Always back
This
to the
looks like
bathroom.
I have a feeling this is a tie. Tie for awesome present.
Oh my God. But that's
And it is a tie.
Dang, that's pretty
It's Everything is going to be this, isn't it?
Yes, because you love Christmas so much, I want you to wear it.
So just so you know,
I won't wear it around my neck.
Not from Xenia.
It's in a Xenia box. Oh, I hate that. Oh, God, I'm afraid.
Look at this red eye thing. It's so bizarre.
You really are disgusting.
Now, this
looks like
Now, you have to wear that at the Christmas party for the 5.
What is that?
Those are jorts. Those go around your body and you light up.
Does it blow up? It doesn't blow up like the one I got.
There you
The
go.
funny thing is that I will wear this.
Those are for chubbies.
There's a few places I go to at night. This is actually.
I'll wear this in the village. You wear that. We'll go together.
I actually overdressed when I wear this.
What a double date. Oh my goodness.
There's no flap in the panini. It returned.
Ew! Oh my God.
To use the restroom.
I think this has been hanging in your office.
What?
Hasn't this been hanging in your office?
Oh, there's a lot of things hanging in my office, Kimberly.
Is there another little box?
Yes.
That could replace that was hanging in your office.
Gutfeld, welcome to my world. Look at the hair. Look at that.
That's
Look at
right.
that.
No hairspray needed.
Look at that.
Flock of seagulls, folks.
Most punchable.
Oh, is there one more?
Most punchable face, 2017.
Wait, did Mediaite already say that?
Did they?
They might have.
They will now.
Wait till they see
Oh, yeah, we have one more. The last one. The last one. Where is it?
Oh, shoot.
That's the last one.
Boy, you went all out.
And Greg, I know you've been trying to lose weight recently, so I wanted to get you something to exercise with. That is a Thigh Master.
Oh, thank you.
You know that really works.
That's
Suzanne
the Thigh
Summers,
Master.
I
You can
have
cut it
this.
open.
Yes, I'm not going to be using it on air because I still want my job. But
it's a nice color, too.
Only he has me do this while I'm holding a pair of scissors.
And it came up by my feet.
You could have killed her and me. That would have been the moment. That would have been the biggest.
It's a blooper.
You almost killed us. You almost killed her.
One more question from one more viewer. Up next.
The plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
$50 gift card for them, $10 bonus card for you. Only at Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
I am totally blind, and Non-24 can throw my days and nights out of sync, keeping me from the things I love to do. Talk to your doctor and call 844-214-2424.
The holiday season is filled with joy and excitement, and it's when families spend precious time together at home. But some children won't be able to go home for the holidays because they've just been diagnosed with cancer. For these children and their families, the holiday season is a time of heartache and worry.
There was a lot of shock and a lot of disbelief.
Watching him go through all of this, it just breaks your heart.
This holiday season, help give these children hope by joining St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with your $19 monthly donation. St. Jude fights every day to save the lives of children with cancer. And with your monthly gift, you'll help us continue the life-saving research and treatment that these kids need.
We thank God every day for St. Jude and for people that support St. Jude.
No family will ever receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because all a family should worry about is helping their child live.
We are so thankful to be here.
They give you your child back.
Join with your credit or debit card right now, and we'll send you this St. Jude t-shirt that you can proudly wear to show your support. It's that time of year to help others in need, and your $19 monthly gift will mean everything to a child this holiday.
You don't know my child, but your contribution is saving his life and many lives.
Please help St. Jude fight childhood cancer. Go online or call now.
That's
trip.
When you book a flight, then add a hotel, you can save.
3 waves later, I think it was the other way around.
Everything you need to go. Expedia.
I've been thinking. Think of all the things that think these days. Businesses are thinking. Factories are thinking. Even your toaster is thinking.
Honey, Clive Owen's in our kitchen.
I'm leaving.
Oh, never mind, he's leaving.
But what if a business could turn all that thinking, endless thinking, into doing? To make better decisions. Make a difference. Make the future. Not next week while you think about it a little more, but right now. Is there a company that can help you do all that? I can think of one.
Welcome back. Well, we've opened our presents. Memorable. We have time now for one more question from you, our amazing, amazing viewers. And this is the question. Are you ready, folks?
Yes.
All right. From Gloria P. Who are your picks for naughty and nice? Greg.
Well, naughty, definitely Lou Dobbs.
Yeah.
And nice, Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Okay, Dana.
I'm gonna go with naughty, President Putin. Indeed. And I would say nice, the Mercy Ships volunteers.
Naughty, I'm going to go with Juan because he constantly interrupts me. And nice, I'm going with Kimberly because she constantly saves me.
That's true.
When I'm veering into the wrong lane. Except for Sharknado.
I keep you employed. I did. I told you.
No, it made it
that was
worse.
a joke. All right, Juan, naughty or nice?
I would go with Bashar al-Assad in Syria as naughty. And for nice, I'm just not sure. But I think there's so many nice people.
Trump.
Nice.
Okay, naughty, I'm going to go with fake news, mainstream media, because they've been very bad. And nice, I'm actually going to go with Sarah Sanders. Very nice. I saw her at the White House Christmas party. Very sweet.
Nice.
All right, thanks for spending some of your holiday with us. I bet you wish you could spend more. We're going to see you back here tomorrow. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
There could be a major job opening at the FBI with reports that Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is planning to retire as growing allegations of political bias have made him a lightning rod for criticism. Hello, everyone. Welcome to America's news headquarters on this Christmas Eve. I'm Mike Emanuel.
Nice to be with you again. And with all of you, I'm Leah Gabriel. President Trump slamming the agency's #2 official over reports that he will hold on to his current position until he becomes fully eligible for pension benefits. The president tweeting, FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is racing the clock to retire with full benefits, 90 days to go. The president also suggesting McCabe had a conflict of interest. That's because a Clinton ally contributed money to his wife's campaign when she ran for office in Virginia 2 years ago. One White House official saying that integrity in federal law enforcement is an absolute must.
We put all of our faith and confidence in the Department of Justice and the FBI, knowing that there should be no bias there. He's making the point that we need to make sure there's no bias. And I think there's serious concerns about whether or not there was or was not.
Ellison Barber is live in Washington with more. Ellison, what are you hearing tonight?
Well, President Trump is not in D.C., but he is still talking about D.C. things and the FBI on Twitter. Fox News has learned that acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe is eligible for retirement in March. For weeks, there have been rumors about a potential McCabe retirement. A handful of outlets reported yesterday that McCabe would retire in the new year, and almost immediately, President Trump fired off a number of tweets attacking McCabe. The White House, as you just heard, defended the tweets on Fox News Sunday.
Is that helpful for the president to repeatedly attack top officials of the FBI?
Chris, I think the president believes that the American people have a right to know as to what happened with that investigation. As you mentioned in that tweet, and I think people need to remember this, Terry McAuliffe, the governor of Virginia, is perhaps the Clintons' closest political friend.
McCabe spent 2 days and over 14 hours testifying on Capitol Hill last week. Democrats said the closed-door meetings were not meant to find facts, but in their view, they were meant to discredit the special counsel's Russia investigation.
What's going on behind those closed doors? We all know what's going on behind. It's not a search for the truth. It's a search to undermine the legitimacy of Mueller's investigation.
I think it's critically important that we respect the independence of the Department of Justice and the FBI. No one's above the law. Let Mr. Mueller do his investigation without interference from the president.
All of this as Fox News learns FBI official James Baker was removed from a prominent position on the General Counsel. The counsel is read in on all of the investigations handled by the FBI. Sources tell Fox News Baker is not fired, but reassigned, and his reassignment may somehow be tied to a separate leak investigation. The Washington Post says sources tell them this is a normal part of a new director coming into the Bureau. Politico, however, reported on Friday that Baker is tied to a Mother Jones journalist who first reported on the existence of the Trump dossier. That journalist says Baker was not his source. Fired FBI Director James Comey defended Baker on Twitter, saying he's now being attacked for political gain and as someone who has honorably served the country for 25 years. Leah?
Hopefully we'll be able to get more clarity on that in the future. Ellison Barber reporting. Thank you for your reporting this evening, and Merry Christmas to you.
You bet. You as well.
For more on this, let's bring in Kelly Cohen, a reporter for the Washington Examiner. Kelly, nice to see you.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. President Trump clearly seems irritated that McCabe is expected to serve another 90 days or so and then retire to get his full pension. Democrats say he's done his duty and it's legitimate. Where is this fight heading?
I mean, you have about 90 days until McCabe is going to leave the position. He's probably not going to leave before then, but Trump has been upset with McCabe ever since it was disclosed that his wife took money from Democrats. And, you know, you saw these tweets. I think it's going to, I expect Trump to tweet a little bit more about this, especially as McCabe stays in charge as the #2 at the FBI.
Would McCabe's departure take some of the pressure off FBI Director Christopher Wray? After all, the president seems to want Wray to clean house at the top of the Bureau.
I think it takes a little bit of pressure off of him, but, you know, Wray is still doing a bunch of reshuffling. I think we're going to see a little bit more changes. But, you know, the calls from Republicans, they've been getting, they have more fuel to the fire, especially with, you know, the text messages, which you mentioned before this. The text messages, you know, Republicans are going to keep at this. And the Inspector General, he's investigating McCabe, and that report is supposed to come out sometime this spring. So I think this will still happen. And, you know, you have until March with McCabe.
Things are so politicized these days and so polarized. Is there an objective way to assess if the FBI, in terms of some of its senior leaders, are politically motivated?
I think, you know, as more of them continue to testify, we saw Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. He testified about the special counsels not being biased. I think they're going to continue to be on Capitol Hill. We're going to see more senior FBI officials on Capitol Hill testifying behind closed doors. Hopefully we get, you know, some information out of those, but I think we're just going to have to trust that when those top FBI officials say that they're unbiased, that they're unbiased.
Kelly, the president also continues to vent his frustration with Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The president has tweeted asking why Sessions didn't replace McCabe. What about Sessions' future?
I think, you know, Sessions is really thriving as Attorney General. He's carrying out a lot of campaign promises that, you know, came from Trump back when he was campaigning for president. So I think Sessions he enjoys his job as Attorney General, and I think he's probably going to stay at the Justice Department for a little bit longer.
With all this political back and forth, what about morale at the FBI? We live in a dangerous world. We need those professionals to be on top of their game. Any concerns about morale at this stage?
I mean, you just have to look at what Wray told Capitol Hill a few weeks ago. He said it loud and proud. You know, these are great people that work at FBI. They're great people. They're working hard to keep our country safe. And he's the leader of the FBI. He was approved, you know, by Congress. He's out there. So I think we have to take him at his word that the FBI is still keeping us safe and doing its job.
Kelly Cohen from the Washington Examiner. Kelly, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
President Trump praising U.S. soldiers overseas. Appreciation was the theme of his Christmas Eve video conference call with military leaders just hours ago at his Florida state. Meantime, out west, a federal judge in Seattle has lifted parts of the Trump administration ban on certain refugees. Steve Harrigan covering this live in West Palm Beach, Florida, near the president's Mar-a-Lago estate. Good evening to you.
Leah, good evening. This is a partial lifting of that ban by a Seattle federal judge. The ban, of course, affected 11 different nations, mostly Muslim nations, and now visa applications for immigration by people with family members in the U.S. will be forced to be processed. That means for attorneys for the government, they say they have disagreed with that decision, but they're considering now their next steps. In the meantime, here in Florida, the president played golf for a second day in a row, but before and after he hit the links, he was on Twitter, and both times he was criticizing the mainstream media. In the morning, he criticized the mainstream media for underestimating the strength of President Trump's base. Again, in the afternoon, he said the media underestimates Trump's popularity in polls, so both times attacking the fake news media. And finally, a Christmas tradition, the president and the First Lady both taking part in phone conversations with NORAD. Children were calling NORAD to find out the progress of Santa Claus. Some of them instead were patched through to President Trump, including Casper from Virginia.
Oh, that's good. Building blocks, that's what I always like too. I always loved building blocks. Now they make them better. Well, I predict that Santa will bring you building blocks. So many you won't be able to use them all.
Casper told the president he hoped for building blocks for Christmas. That obviously excited the president. He seems to have found a kindred spirit in young Casper. Leah, back to you.
All right, and we know one other little kid was actually hoping his grandma would be out of the hospital. Steve Harrigan, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. You too.
More than 100 million Americans are traveling this Christmas holiday, according to AAA. And it reports the majority of Americans are taking road trips to reach their destination. Our David Lee Miller is live in New York City with more.
Mike, AAA expects this to be a record-breaking year-end travel season. 107.3 million travelers are going to be headed somewhere if they haven't done so already. Most will be doing so on the road, despite the fact that gasoline prices are on average now about 28 cents higher than a year ago at $2.47 a gallon. Out west, traffic is starting to return to normal on I-70 in Colorado after a blizzard hit the region. Other snowstorms will be making driving hazardous in the Midwest and in New England. More people are flying compared to a year ago. An airline trade group credits the improving economy. And today and December 30th are expected to be the least congested days for air travel this holiday season. And here in New York, there are expected to be about 6 million visitors during the holidays. There's an increased security presence at churches from midnight mass through Christmas Day. In fact, there are more security forces deployed throughout the entire city, including the NYPD, the state police, and the National Guard. There's also an increased surveillance at bridges, tunnels, train stations, and airports. Radiation detection equipment and sniffer dogs will be on the street. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says there's no specific threat, but it's best to play it safe.
I want to make sure that when the public sees this activity, that they're not alarmed. We don't have any information that has caused us to increase security. This is just out of an abundance of caution. There is nothing wrong. There's nothing to get alarmed about. It's just a proactive effort to increase security.
There is also heightened security throughout parts of Europe this Christmas season. Police remain on high alert in Italy, in Rome, London, and Paris. French officials say nearly 100,000 security personnel are going to be on duty between now and New Year's Eve. Mike?
Our David Lee Miller reporting, and I will be able to give you a full report on holiday travel as I head to a local airport after this program.
Yes, you will. I know your family and your kids are going to want to see you. I just want to say thank you to all of our law enforcement officials here in New York City, you know, protecting us, because you see them on the subways, you see them out on the streets, and, you know, they're working during the holidays to keep us safe. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for the work that you're doing. Yeah. And speaking of crowds, well, crowds are gathering in Bethlehem this Christmas Eve, but the celebrations there are a bit different this year, and President Trump has a lot to do with that. A report from Jerusalem is next. Plus, paying too much for a popular Christmas gift this year? Well, you're not alone. How Grinch bots are making a mockery of Christmas spirit.
How do you know the difference between a grandma with 14 grandkids who all get the same holiday gift and, you know, somebody who's a bad actor and trying to resell this merchandise somewhere else? It's very difficult.
This is our workshop. These are our lights. Performance is our tradition. And this is the TLX. Take advantage of some of the best offers of the year at the Acura Seasonal Performance event going on now.
Lease the 2018 TLX for $299 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
I saw the change in Rich when we moved into the new house, but having his parents over was enlightening.
You don't like my lasagna?
No, it's good.
Here, blow. Blow on it.
You see it, right?
Is there a draft in here? I'm telling you, it's so easy to get home insurance on Progressive.com.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto.
They appear out of nowhere. My secret visitors. Appearing next to me in plain sight.
Hallucinations and delusions. These are the unknown parts of living with Parkinson's disease.
What stories they tell, but for my ears only. What plots they unfold, but only in my mind.
Over 50% of people with Parkinson's will experience hallucinations or delusions during the course of their disease, and these can worsen over time, making things even more challenging. But there are advances that have led to treatment options that can help. If someone you love has Parkinson's and is experiencing hallucinations or delusions, talk to your Parkinson's specialist, because there's more to Parkinson's.
My visitors should be the ones I want to see.
Learn more at moretoparkinsons.com.
We go inside Eisenhower's final days in office and the final mission of an American giant. Watch as Brett Baer anchors 3 Days in January, tonight.
One little joint supplement. You know this powerful little pill is great for your joints. It's great for your knees. It even has powerful benefits to help increase your mobility and flexibility. But the joint supplements of today are sadly incomplete because they don't start relieving joint discomfort fast enough. Introducing the complimentary sample of Instaflex Advanced, our most powerful joint formula ever. The only thing our complimentary sample of Instaflex Advanced is missing is the price. We're so sure Instaflex Advanced will give you relief in just 1 week. We'll give you a complimentary sample. To claim your sample, text DANCE to 231231. Instaflex Advanced is great for relief of discomfort in your aching knees and joints. Get a complimentary sample now by texting DANCE to 231231. Instaflex Advanced samples are not available in stores, so text DANCE to 231231 now.
Fox News Channel is bringing you an all-American New Year's celebration from New York City and around the country. Catch the biggest live performances and join the conversation using hashtag Fox News 2018. Kick back and watch the ball drop with your hosts Kennedy and Jesse Waters live from the heart of Times Square. Our must-see coverage begins New Year's Eve at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fox News Channel.
5 people are dead following a small plane crash in central Florida. The Cessna taking off early this morning from an airport about 45 miles east of Tampa en route to Key West. Authorities say the pilot, 2 of his daughters, a son-in-law, and a family friend are among the dead. They also say fog likely contributed to the crash.
One of our helicopter pilots was in the hangar, heard the plane starting to take off, and thought to himself, my gosh, I can't believe someone's trying to take off in this weather. And he said it was just seconds later that he heard the change in the pitch of the blades and the impact at the north end of the airport, not very far from our hangar.
Well, the NTSB and the FAA are sending teams to the site of that crash to investigate.
Crowds peaceful in Bethlehem on Christmas Eve. It is the birthplace of Jesus, according to the Bible, but those gathering there a bit more subdued than usual due to the fallout from President Trump's historic declaration of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Connor Powell with more from our Jerusalem bureau.
Mike, this is always a festive time in Bethlehem, but this Christmas season has been marred by weeks of violent protests by Palestinian Muslims and Christians following President Trump's decision to declare Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Today, with Christmas Eve celebrations well underway, Bethlehem has been peaceful, but the mood is much different than past years, with President Trump's decision front and center. Signs all over the place reading, "Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine." And Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas issued a Christmas message calling on the international Christian community to, quote, listen to the indigenous Christians from the Holy Land and reject President Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. With the top Roman Catholic priest in the Holy Land, Monsignor Pier Battista Pizzaballa, who has been vocal in his criticisms of President Trump's decision, making a very public display by crossing through an Israeli military checkpoint to enter Bethlehem from Jerusalem. Despite today's calm, protests against the U.S. decision are expected to continue. Mike?
Connor Powell in the Holy Land, thank you.
Well, some holiday shoppers are screaming bah humbug to inflated toy prices. Grinches in the form of bots are using technology to get their hands on the season's hottest items faster than any humans can. So they then sell the toys at huge markup prices, leaving some parents in the lurch if they don't have the cash. Molly Line has the rest of this story.
High-tech software is the new threat to holiday joy, making it tougher than ever for mom or dad to find that must-have toy at its regular retail price.
We're having sales that are popping up on major retailers that are then sold out in seconds.
Cyber scalpers resell the goods and reap the ill-gotten gains. This year's top bot target, fingerlings. Laura Oliver runs a deal-watching website.
I've definitely had readers on frugalchick.com that have told me that they've had their fingerling in their cart, and then when they've gone to check out, it's been gone.
The pint-sized critters should cost about $18, but they're sold out at most toy stores, now selling online for as much as $1,000. Another target, the Super Nintendo NES Classic Edition. Out of stock on most sites, but available on eBay for double the money. Many retailers try to block the bots, some setting online flags and purchase limits.
How do you know the difference between a grandma with 14 grandkids who all get the same holiday gift and, you know, somebody who's a bad actor and trying to resell this merchandise somewhere else? It's very difficult.
New Mexico Senator Tom Udall is among those working to expand a law that already prevents bots for the use of mass purchasing theater tickets or concert tickets. But it'll be too late for this Christmas. Laura Oliver suggests that instead of paying the markup, that scalpers markup online, and giving those Grinches any satisfaction, to consider writing an IOU. In Boston, Molly Line, Fox News.
It's looking like a white Christmas in parts of the nation. In Ohio, the National Weather Service issuing a winter weather advisory through tomorrow morning. This is the scene in Cleveland with snow in the forecast there for the next few days. There's more rain than snow in Virginia. Some last-minute shoppers getting drenched with downpours and strong winds in the D.C. suburbs. And in upstate New York, people already seeing up to 4 inches of snow, making for tough conditions on the roads. Forecasters predicting more snowfall tonight and a Christmas day tomorrow. So what do you think? You want a white Christmas?
Well, I hope you have your raincoat since you're heading back to D.C. My take is this. If it's going to be really cold, I want it to be a white Christmas, but otherwise I'd rather be in a place like Florida, where President Trump is right now. And speaking of President Trump, did you hear that he's angering Moscow? And this is by helping the Ukraine fight Russian-backed separatists. Ahead, Mr. Trump's move and the fallout, plus the protests against the 1% spread across the U.S. and around the world. But has anything changed in the years since the Occupy Wall Street movement went global? And California Governor Jerry Brown once again butting heads with the Trump administration over immigration. We'll tell you how.
If you just sign that first one there.
I'm so sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not
what we talked about.
car without the car salesman. Carvana.com, the better way to buy a car.
These are difficult times for elderly Holocaust survivors. With no food and no heat, they get weaker and more die every day.
I want you to see their faces. Look into their eyes that are haunted still by the memories of the past.
They desperately need our help now with heating, food, and medicine during the holiday season of Hanukkah.
These are people who often have to go for days without food. This woman would die in a matter of days or weeks without our help.
Cold, sick, weak, the Jewish people have suffered so much pain in their lives. Please call now and say that you will give a special Hanukkah gift of $25 that will help bring these life-saving essentials to a Holocaust survivor.
Are we going to hear the cries of the oppressed, or are we going to be silent to them? Are we going to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, and not avert our eyes from our fellow flesh and blood?
The fellowship is faced with desperate pleas for food, blankets, and medicine. For only $25, you can help save a life with the gift of bread, a blanket, and medicine to a Holocaust survivor suffering all alone during this holiday season.
I hope and pray you will do so before time is up and it is too late.
More doing chores for mom parole? More doing chores for dad parole. More earning something you love parole. Bounty is more absorbent, so the roll can last 50% longer than the leading ordinary brand. So you get more life parole. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. Rebel against messes with limited edition Star Wars prints from Bounty.
California Governor Jerry Brown once again at odds with President Trump over the issue of immigration. The governor announcing he granted 132 pardons this holiday season, 2 of them immigrants awaiting deportation for committing crimes in the U.S. Will Carr is live from Los Angeles with more. Will?
And Mike, it's no secret that Governor Jerry Brown has really pushed back hard on the administration's immigration policies, and this decision appears to only be escalating that situation. Brown decided to use a Christmas tradition of granting pardons to, in his words, bestow acts of mercy on the men. We're talking about 2 men from Cambodia living in Northern California. One was convicted in 2003 for felony joyriding. The other convicted in 1995 on a felony weapons charge that was linked to gangs and a misdemeanor receiving stolen property. Both were picked up by federal authorities this past October in immigration raids and were set to be deported on Christmas, but a federal judge just issued a temporary restraining order. In fact, one man, Monty Neth, has already been released from custody and is back with his family. The other, Rodanak Kong, is still in custody, but in his pardon, the governor writes, several individuals wrote in support of Mr. Kong, describing him as kind and generous and as a role model to those who face insurmountable challenges in their lives. Governor Brown also butted heads with the Trump administration in October when he signed sanctuary state legislation, which placed limitations on state and local authorities' abilities to federal immigration agencies enforce laws. And it's important to note that just because the men were pardoned doesn't necessarily mean they still won't be deported at some point. Both now have to ask immigration courts to reopen their cases. Mike.
Will Carr live in Los Angeles. Merry Christmas, Will.
You too.
And for more on this, David Schwartz, defense attorney and former prosecutor, and John Lauro, defense attorney and former federal prosecutor. Nice to see you both.
Good evening. Nice to see you. Good evening.
So, David, I want to start with you. What do you make